Whether you're new to gaming or have been enjoying video games all your life, great gaming is not only about having fun and escaping the stresses of everyday life, but also being there to pick up our teammates, especially when they're down.
Guardian down.
We're a Destiny 2 podcast that focuses on three things: promoting a positive gaming community, sharing news around the industry in Destiny 2, and discussing thought-provoking topics in the game. We're Guardian Downcast, your stories, your community, and your destiny. What's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 338 of Guardian Downcast. I'm your host, ToddtheGatr, and I'm a Day One Guardian who loves gaming, and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. For those of you who have may just discovered our podcast, we're a weekly gaming show with an emphasis on the Destiny franchise, but we like to talk about other things as well. If you want to listen to us live, it's every Thursday on my YouTube and Twitch channels. That's ToddtheGatr, ToddtheGatr, all one word. And also you can watch us live like some of our community is right now in our Discord. Welcome Zombie, Jellybean, and Scarlet Maddie. And you can always go to our Discord channel. That's discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. And just go to our live stage or click the RSVP tab on our event tabs in our Discord, and it'll tell you when we go live. I have my co-host from the great state of Utah, Mr. Kingsleymac, back with us again. How you doing, Mike?
Hello, I'm doing great. Glad to be here once again.
Thank you, sir. In today's show, it's officially the first episode of 2026. And what we're going to do is we're going to shake things up a bit. Kingsley and I have had a really nice holiday break. And for the first episode of the year, we're going to test out some new things in the show tonight. So on today's episode, first, we're going to jump right in and talk about any highlights from Bungie's first This Week in Destiny for 2026. After that, Mike has a new Warlock build that he's been wanting to share. So what we're going to do is he's going to describe the build, and I'm going to put it together piece by piece and just share my game screen I'll be in game. And we'll put it together live. And for you audio listeners, don't worry. We're going to explain it in very well so you guys can try it when you get home or when you're done listening to the podcast. And I will also we're going to save it into my DIM as a loadout, and then we'll share that DIM link in our show notes if you want to try it out. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. I know nothing about the build other than there's one exotic chest piece that I need to wear on my Warlock, and that's all I know. So we'll put that together tonight. And next, we have a new topic of the week relating to Destiny 2. If there's any questions for the show from our community, we'll answer those. And finally, as it's a time of reflection, we're going to catch up and look back at 2025 and look forward to 2026. I might have a few movies to review. And as is my tradition every year, I'm going to share my top 10 movie/TV shows for 2025. These I used to have lists for everything. Now I've combined them into one list for streaming shows and movies that I go see at the theater. And it's going to be one top 10 list. And I just put that together last night, and it was really tough to do because there was some good stuff out there this year, or this past year, I should say. And then if Kingsley has any things he wants to add to it, we'll go from there. Also, we have an important announcement at the end of the show that I think you won't want to miss. It involves you, by the way, our listener or watcher. But we have a lot to cover tonight. So if everyone's ready, let's roll. Hey, it's Todd with Guardian Downcast. You know, there's all kinds of ways that you can contact us. You can contact us on X. You can hit up our Instagram. You know, you can send us a voicemail, or you can even email us.
You can just tell them, go to the website at guardiandowncast.com.
You know what, Mike? You're exactly right. guardiandowncast.com. Later, Guardian. This Week in Destiny for January 8th, 2026. We hope you had a restful and recuperative end of the year, Guardians. Well, aside from that pelting each other with snowballs to freeze foes to the bone in the Dawning's new Crucible Ox activity, which I loved. Really did. That was so much fun. Good thing you could thaw out by Eva Levante's cookie oven and go on baking sprees, making tons of cookies for your favorite friends. Now that the snow's melting, we have one final dawning gift to share, our first this week in Destiny for 2026. And I'm going to be honest, they don't talk about much as far as the game. Me and Kingsley were talking last night, where we ran the dungeon last night, and I said, what are the odds they're just going to come out with a hello, how you doing type TWAB? And that's really what it is, man.
I knew they were just going to do that.
Yeah, I guess they didn't have much time to work on it. They're back to work. And anyway, I'll give them a little.
I have to say,
yeah,
you're talking about the Crucible thing. A majority of people I've talked to in the Discord have actually liked that activity. So you're definitely in the minority there.
I know. We did a raid this last weekend, and you pulled me into it. I was working on something, and I said, whoa, what are we doing? We went and played a snowball fight, and I was like, oh, okay. It still didn't change my mind. Sorry. It is what it is.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to like it, but I think they are going to keep it around. Well, they said they are. And then I think it was actually a surprise. I wouldn't say the word hit is correct, but it was at least something that people enjoyed enough for the Dawning event.
And I even was running my Titan, and I even put my movement, I can't remember what it's called, my chest piece that makes me move around and jump higher and stuff. And I still was having a hard time. You just got to get up high. Whoever can stay up high and stealthy is the one who usually wins the fight. So that's just the way it is, I guess. Anyway, what they do talk about, they had the Delectable Dawning creations where you can actually make cookies and stuff. And they show a bunch of pictures. And these are very well done, but we're not going to really get into that tonight. We kind of just want to talk about the highlights of the TWAB. We don't want to get in the nitty gritty of it, but I'll admit the treats look really good. Really impressed with the treats. And then after that, they have the Dawning fashion contest they had, and they share the results from that. And there's a bunch of people who dressed up in their best Dawning gear and took pictures of themselves in the world. And yeah, like I said, there's some really good pictures here, but really we want to kind of get right to the nitty gritty in the TWAB tonight. And if you do want to see these, they are very nice, and they're posted at bungie.net for the January 8th TWAB. So the one thing I did want to share, Kingsley, is the Game to Give is back, and I wanted to share that because that's always a big, important time of year where they raise money. They did want to mention, too, that the Renegade soundtrack is on YouTube. That's not really a big deal, but
I feel like they're raising money every other month. I can't keep track of which one this is compared to all their other ones.
Well, this is Game to Give. I mean, they've been doing this. It's Little Lights, Big Heroes.
Other ones, too, yeah.
Yeah. It's Little Lights, Big Heroes, Game to Give 2026. It's once again time to rally in the support of the Little Lights. The Bungie Foundation's annual Game to Give fundraising campaign runs from January 12th through the 29th, so that's next week. And with it comes an awesome new set of 90s anime-inspired game incentives and another opportunity to show the gaming world the power of our collective lights. That's pretty cool. Let's see,
Do they even say what this is for those that don't know what Game to Give means?
They do not.
What's it raising money for?
Well, let's see. It says you can go to Tiltify if you're a streamer and you want to set up your fundraising
I found
page.
It. Yeah, on that page, it's a few different things, actually.
Let me see here.
Either children's health and well-being, humanitarian aid, or inclusion, diversity, and equity. So there's kind of three different options there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I always like to mention their anytime they're doing charity and stuff. So, yeah. What's up, Amazing Taco King? Good to see you, man. Anyway, just want to talk about that. Game to Give, that's next week, the 12th through the 29th. And along with earning some epic rewards, we'll be spotlighting real Little Lights, patients who your support has helped supercharge into heroes and whose courage and joy prove what's possible when light keepers stand together. So like I said, you can head to Tiltify today to set up your fundraising page and tune in to our streaming marathon featuring 200 plus Destiny 2 content creators starting at 12 a.m. Pacific time on January 12th. All right. I want to mention that. New player guide. As you know, Bungie has a website for new Guardians, and I guess it's better than nothing, Kingsley, but it's just a site where they write about, trying to get started in the game Destiny 2. I guess it's better than nothing, right? But they did add an updated player guide for Destiny 2, and this one is called Everything New Lights Need to Know About Being a Guardian, from subclass and damage types to weapon and armor. And they have a a link here you can click if you want to look into that. They'll continue to add sections to this guide covering everything new players need to know. Now, new player, all we have left is player support report, and normally I just say shit's broken, but tonight I wanted to mention that there's a couple things they wanted to make sure people knew. The character deletion time limit with update 9.5, they've implemented a restriction to how often players can delete and recreate their characters. Players can create and delete their characters up to 5 times each before hitting a 24-hour mandatory cooldown. I don't know who's resetting their characters this often, other than probably Smurf accounts or maybe cheaters, but I don't know who would want to reset their account that many times unless they're trying to farm something. But yeah, 5 times in 24 hours, and then you have to take a 24-hour break. So what's up, Miklo? How you doing, man? Let's see. Anything else in here? Let's see. We're investigating an issue where players logging into multiple characters of the same class can lose weekly shipments. In the meantime, please make sure you claim any available shipments in Spider's Lounge before logging into alternate characters of the same class. Okay? Crucible matches are not progressing. The B greater weekly objective. The Lawless Frontier activities can kick players if it happens during daily reset. I usually make sure I'm out of that anyway. We know that the Trials of Osiris currently has lobby balancing unintentionally enabled. Instead of it just being randomized players, everyone has been balanced like they do in regular Crucible. So keep that in mind. A lot of other things are cosmetic. You can look it over at Bungie.net if you want to get into that. They have our Artist of the Week and Movie of the Week. Like I said, that is on Bungie.net if you want to see that. And that'll do it for our first twit of 2026. From everyone here, we hope you had an excellent holiday and that your new year is off to a great start. Now to shake all those dawning snowballs out of our boots. Destiny 2 community team. Thank you, Destiny 2 community team. Hopefully next week you have something for us now that you have a full week back.
Yeah, it makes me think, why did they even do one this week? They could have just saved time and resources.
I just had a feeling, man. I just had a feeling it was going to be one of those twabs where it's like, hey, how you doing? We're back. We'll see you next week. You know?
But then, yeah, you could say you do one every week, but if there's really nothing big in it, then what's the point?
That was pretty much a nothing burger, I'll be honest. I mean, the Dawning treats, they had to share all the results from the Dawning contest they had going on. So that was pretty cool. And those treats look really good. There's one in there that looks just like the cookies you make in the game. I don't know. That must have taken a lot of time to get that.
Sometimes they'll do separate articles, and they could have just done that. It's not like you have to save it for a nothing burger twid. But I'm not complaining. I'm just you kind of wonder like why they even did it. But yeah,
I mean, they're good about community events. So at least outside of the game, not in the game. That's another topic. With
how small this twid is, they could have done these size twids during the break. Also, technically,
yeah,
would have had some intern over there that could have done something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we're going to get into Kingsleymac new DPS Warlock build, and we'll do that right after this.
Hey, Elmer Fudd Games here, and you're listening to Guardian Downcast. If you're listening to any other show right now, I will break into your house and destroy your kneecaps. I will twist off the headboard of your bed so when you go to stretch in the morning, you fall between the crevice. Guess what? Dog hair and old socks. Disgusting. No one wants that, but we want you to listen to this podcast. How's that? Was that good?
I like it. All right, there has been a Warlock DPS build that Kingsley has been wanting to share actually for several weeks now, but we had a couple weeks off. So like I said, here's what we're going to do. Kingsley's going to put the build together and describe it step by step. And like I said, I have my game open here on live on screen, and I'm going to put it together. And when we're done putting it all together, I'm going to save it in game, and I'm also going to save it in dim so you guys can get the link if you want to try this build out and jump right in as soon as you hear the podcast or watch the podcast reset. What's up, Scarlet Shadow? All right. So I have my game up here. I'm going to go ahead and click on my Warlock. All right, Kingsley, take it away, and I'll do things as quickly as I can here.
All right. No, don't worry. I won't go too quick.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a really cool build, and there's not necessarily a name for it, but you can call it the Warlock OP Arc Storm Trance build.
Okay.
whatever you want to call it. But I really appreciate builds because I raid a lot and sometimes dungeon and whatnot.
Right.
If I can find a build that focuses on high DPS from the super, but it can also be used well enough in most other content.
Okay.
And while this is not the biggest, quote, buddy build out there, it still has 2 buddies that you get a lot of the time. And when I've been taking it in the Desert Perpetual raid and the dungeon and everything, I feel just as protected, if not more so, because of the amount of outgoing arc damage that happens from it. Now, Warlock is interesting. Every once in a while, arc is super hot, and then it'll like die off and be kind of like super weak for several seasons in a row.
Right.
And then you have the standouts, like usually Prismatic is really good with sub elements of either Strand, Solar, or Void. Yep. But usually arc is not the best, but right now it is the best by far if we were just talking about super damage. Just kind of an example before we start here.
Okay.
They've done damage testing on all the supers, and Warlock with Nova Bomb is about 9,000, a little over 9,000, 9,200 DPS for that.
Okay.
The next highest, that's the third highest one. The second highest one is Needle Storm with Metaiodoxia. That's 14,000.
Okay.
But this one, Storm Trance with Storm Dancer's Brace, that is the exotic that you need. And I'll talk more about that in a second. Without any other buffs, it gets higher than this, but with just that super and that chest piece, 29,000.
Okay.
And with buffs, I've seen get up to like 40,000.
Okay.
So
looking forward to
you
this.
can see it outpaces other supers by far.
Okay.
The thing to keep in mind, again, before I go super deep into it, is Storm Trance is a very interesting super that this won't be useful everywhere. King's Fall is like a raid where it's not useful. You need to have bosses and enemies that are close. Of course, it's not a throw type super,
right.
But the new raid, all the bosses are close. The new dungeon, all the bosses are close. And you also need to have DPS encounters that are longer. You can't have something like Deepstone Crypt, second encounter where it's burst damage. It's not going to be good for that because since Storm Trance is such a long super, it's not good unless you can use it that whole time.
Gotcha. Up close. Gotcha.
Yeah. Up close and longer DPS phases. But if you can have that, there's no question that this is the highest outputting super.
Okay.
So here's how you build into it. We'll just start with the real basics. You need that chest piece, like I mentioned.
Yep, and I have the ornament on
Dancer's Brace.
I've got the, just so you guys know that are watching here, I've got this is the induction ceremony Warlock ornament.
Well, remember, you can use any ornaments now, too. You know which ornament I like using this? I actually do the Phoenix Fall, which is part of Phoenix Protocol. It looks like feathers. You can inspect my character.
I got it on.
Yeah, you can see it right there, too.
Yep.
But, of course, use whatever ornament you want because... The main problem with Warlock chest piece exotics is none of them look too amazing, but I do like the Phoenix Fall. I do like one other one, but that's dealer's choice, whatever someone prefers. So you need to have Storm Dancer's Brace for the this Warlock super to be good.
Yep, I've got it.
So starting off,
I've got it. What do you call it? I've got it masterworked. Did that last night.
I won't go into all the stats and other armor pieces yet.
Okay.
I'll regroup on the chest piece, but let's just start with the basics. This is an arc subclass. So it's not prismatic, it's arc.
Storm Dance, okay.
All right.
Oh, not prismatic. Not prismatic, arc.
No, not prismatic.
Okay,
it's arc.
I'm taking care of it. Okay.
All right.
Let me put the Storm Dance trance on it. Got it. Okay. Now where are we going?
You definitely want Healing Rift because that'll give you some more extra damage resistance.
Got that.
Now remember also, it's really cool with Renegades. They updated the Warlock Rifts that they're much bigger now. They're a much bigger wide circle and you can kind of move when you're dropping them too. Yeah, you're not totally stationary.
I haven't gotten used to it yet, but I was trying it out, but I really like my Phoenix Dive. I still like having my little buddy to shoot things too, my little mortar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. When I'm on Prismatic, I always do Phoenix Dive.
Okay.
But yeah.
And of course you want Strafe Glide.
Oh, definitely not Burst Glide like most guides show you.
I'm leaving it. I'm standing on this out of principle.
Yeah, and I'm going to send also a Mobalytics link, which I think is easier to read than links. But
no worries.
But when you see everyone list Burst Glides in the builds, you can kind of figure why.
Okay. All right.
And then you want to have Ball Lightning. but that one's a little bit dealer's choice. You could do Chain Lightning. That one's the melee isn't as important in this build. The grenades are way more important in this build.
Okay. I'm going to go Chain Lightning just in case someone doesn't have Ball Lightning. Make it as simple as possible.
What do you mean?
Here. Oh, it does come with it.
Chain Lightning either.
It comes with, I'll keep it on. I'll keep it on. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what grenade?
And then you definitely Pulse Grenade. That's the strongest arc grenade.
Okay. Got it. What about aspects?
All right. And then for the aspects, you want Ionic Sentry.
Got it on. Okay.
And Ionic Sentry is what's going to bring one of your buddies. It does that really cool arc turret that, shoots little beams at enemies.
Oh, okay. I haven't tried this yet.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Oh, this Ionic Sentry is very, very strong. And that's what's part of this build too.
Okay.
If you can throw it out in a group of enemies, it's just going to melt everything.
Oh, is this the little ball I saw last night? It just like a pulsing ball. It just shocks everything around it.
Yes. It kind of it looks like a little turret on the ground. So you throw out your grenade and it makes a little turret, but it's like a ball. It's not like it doesn't have a stand like a turret.
That's what I was asking. I saw those last night. You were throwing them when we were running the dungeon last night. So okay, got it. Okay.
Yep. And then your second buddy, you want Arc Soul.
Arc Soul.
So change that to Arc Soul.
What's this one do? Let's see.
And
Go ahead.
And what that one does is when you drop your rift, it's just that little arc round ball up by your head, but also any of your teammates that go through your rift also get an Arc Soul. So it's really nice in a raid or a dungeon where all your teammates also get an Arc Soul that follows them around.
Okay.
Yeah.
What am I doing for fragments?
Goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes away a little bit quickly when you're out of the rift. So your main buddy is going to be the Ionic Sentry.
Okay.
But you can run back into the rift and then get it again.
I love it.
All right.
For our teammates too.
Fragments.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter the order, but I'll just list in my order. First, you want Spark of Frequency.
Let me just go ahead and pop that on. I'll do it one at a time.
And even though this isn't a melee build, it's still, when you are using your melee, basically increases your weapon's reload speed and stability for short duration. But also, more importantly, while amplified, the effects are increased and you gain increased stats of bolt charge. You're going to be amplified a lot in this build also, which is important.
Hello, Allocate. Okay, got that. What's next?
All right, next, Spark of Shock.
Okay.
This is a very important one. Your arc grenades jolt targets.
Okay, I got that on.
All right. Next, Spark of Magnitude. Another really big grenade one.
Let me find it. Magnitude. Yep. So on the second page or first page? No, I got it.
I don't remember.
I got it.
This one, your lingering arc grenades have extended duration. Super important for that pulse grenade.
Okay. And I got one more.
And then last, Spark of Resistance, of course, so you can get some damage resistance.
Okay. Damage resistance. When you have it on. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
And it gets you plus 10 minutes.
All right.
Good. Okay. So that's the subclass build. All right. Now what am I doing?
Yep, that's the subclass build.
Let's start with, I guess, is there any armor sets you want me to use? Any one that works best?
No, that's dealer's choice, really. I mean, I haven't done much with what just to give you a little spoiler, this build does not require any certain weapons, but it does pair very well with the Praxic Blade, but you do not need to use that if you don't want to.
Okay.
But arc weapons tend to pair well with it.
I got plenty of those.
Because of me using the Praxic Blade and because I like the dungeon, I've been grinding it, I do have a 2-piece Sage Protector set, which what that does with the 2-piece is sword hits, return, grenade, and class energy. Bonus energy is granted if blade focus is active. So if you are using the Praxic Blade and you can get a 2-piece from the dungeon, but this is really dealer's choice on armor sets. It's not super important for the build. Whatever you do is more your style and can only benefit the build.
Did you say there was a certain catalyst you wanted to use for the Praxic?
Catalyst. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you. We'll talk. I guess we'll go through weapons then. So like I was mentioning, weapons don't totally matter, but it does pair very well with the Praxic Blade. Now, there's 2 different play styles here. You can either play defensively or more aggressively. I've gotten used to the more aggressive play style because once you learn how often you can throw out your grenade, Ionic Sentry, I feel pretty safe. So what I like to do is more of an offensive build is kind of do the offensive form, Praxic Blade form.
Okay.
And then for the cores, I like to do the refraction core. Sorry. The
mods.
Impact core.
Talking about the focus?
Impact core. What's that?
Cores.
Focus doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want.
Oh, the core. You're talking about impact. Gotcha. I'm going
the core.
to
Yeah.
Impact. I don't see it. Oh, you're talking about the crystal?
No, the core is the one after the focus.
Yeah, the mod sockets.
Keep going.
Oh, okay.
No, they're not called mods. Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Those are the core. Yeah.
Impact core. Gotcha.
Okay. So this is if you're going to play more aggressively. And what this does is your light attacks will grant bolt charge. Okay.
Sure.
But if you're getting used to this build at first, what I would actually recommend is back up and change the form to the defensive form.
Okay.
So maybe let's just say this for most people. And then for the core, 2 over. For the core, I would probably do refraction core, because what you do there is when you block with your sword, it actually shoots back at the enemies, and then that'll bolt charge the enemies.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
That way.
Okay, I still have to get it. Okay. But I see.
And then for the trait, for the catalyst, the trait, you definitely want Hyperblade.
Got it.
Reflecting shots causes you to become amplified and grants the sword increased lunge distance for a single swing.
Okay, got my proxy blade set up. What's next?
All right. Yeah. And this is, again, just all bonus stuff. But it does pair well with arc weapons. I've been loving the bitter end machine gun arc.
Yep.
Second slot's kind of dealer's choice. I mean, all of this really is dealer's choice, but it pairs well with arc weapons.
I've got cooling baubles and rolling storm.
It doesn't matter. I mean, right now I'm using Eddy Current and Frenzy.
Okay.
There's a lot of good rolls on that machine gun, but don't worry, folks, if you even run the dungeon yet or have all the weapons. I think people can kind of figure out what weapons they like. The only thing I would say a slight preference to is using the Praxic Blade. But if you don't like the Praxic Blade, you can use any weapons you want.
Right. I'm going to go with Voltaic Shade. It's I just got it last night in the dungeon. It's the Dungeon Scout Rifle. And this isn't a perfect build, but I've got Trickle Charge and Magnanera.
I mean, the Scout would be a lot better since it's arc.
I'm also, I have long range and a short range because I've got Praxic Blade on. Okay.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Okay. And let's talk about the armor and let's talk about the stats first. Okay. Because of course, once you know what stats you're looking for, you can focus your armor around that.
Just for the record, I'm going to use the Ferropotent armor set, which when shields begin to regenerate, you gain flinch resistance and damage resistance for a short time. It's a very powerful set right now, and I'll stick with that. But like you said, it's dealer's choice as far as what you want to use.
Yeah. Okay. So this build, you want to get your super as high as possible, pretty much 200. Now, people will be like, oh, that's tough to do. When I say 200, you actually only need to get your super to 160, because kind of the thing that people realize is you can put super font mods on and that'll bring your 160 actually to 200 whenever you have a armor charge, which is very easy to have all the time here. So you don't need 200 super. You actually want 160 super.
Okay. I'll just put super mod on
and you
my
can
Storm Dancers.
I don't think you're going to be able to get all your stats perfect.
No,
right now,
you can tell me where to put
people.
Yeah, you can tell me where to put the font mods on when you get there. Is there any on the? I'm on the helmet right now. Is there anything? Other?
I'm not going through that yet. I'm going through all the stats. First.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just letting people know what. Because we don't want to confuse. We want to go through this very methodically.
I got you.
The stats for super is the most important stat, 160, but it'll be 200. The second most important stat is grenade. Ideally, have that above 100. I have mine about 130, and I even have a grenade font mod that I'm going to do because getting your super back very quick and then constantly throwing those grenades are the two most important things about this build. You don't even have to really worry about melee at all. And that's the thing, too. If you're using the Praxic Blade, you're not going to be meleeing. So those are the two most important. If there was a third tertiary stat that I'd recommend, it would definitely be weapons. That's dealer's choice. You could go class if the Rift is important to you. But I like having more damage for weapons for, again, DPS, stuff like that.
All right.
Now we'll go through the armor pieces. So you start with helmet?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So on the helmet, it's recommended to have 1 Ashes to Assets.
Gotcha.
And then 2 super fonts.
Okay, 2 super fonts, right.
And that's what will bring it from 160 to 200.
Oh, there we go. Does that add 20 per font?
Yep.
Okay, I'm short here. How'd you get two
Well,
super
again,
fonts on?
you don't have to build it live. We could just talk about it and then.
Oh, you know what?
Take off your other thing.
No. I haven't upgraded it yet. I got plenty of materials. There we go.
And when you have those, you'll only be able to do a minor mod because you'll only have 2 left instead of 3.
So you said that adds 20 of the super stat
20
per?
each.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it.
All right. Okay. Got that. Gloves?
Gloves.
For gloves, you want impact induction. I mean, this one, again, you're not going to be doing your melee as much, but like, why not? It helps reduce your grenade cooldown. You could switch this out if you didn't want it.
Okay.
And then next, firepower. Definitely important. Your grenade final blows create orbs of power.
Yep. That's
so you'll be getting tons of orbs.
It's like my buddy build. All
right. Mm-hmm.
And I have, what do I use after that? You want to double up on something?
And then a grenade font.
Grenade
for your third one, a grenade font.
I'll have to go minor on this one. Okay. Okay, grenade font. Okay. Let me go ahead and this.
I don't understand why you have to go minor on that because that's 2, 3, and 3. So you have 3 left over for.
This is tier 5.
Something else.
Hold on. Let me look and see if
impact induction, firepower, and grenade font.
Yep, I got them on. No, oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, I can put a major super mod on this one. Yep. I was looking ahead.
All right.
Okay.
No.
The actual Storm Dancer's brace. What do you want me to put on that?
Yeah. Well, this is pretty much always dealer's choice. This is where you just put your damage resistance things. So depending on the activity, if there's more solar enemies or more void enemies or more concussive dampener type enemies, that's dealer's choice on that. A lot of times people do one concussive dampener and then one something and something else. But
gotcha. Okay, because most of the Vex are shooting solar, and of course somehow arc from the dungeon. So I'm going to put arc resistance, solar resistance, and a concussive dampener. I might switch this to sniper once we get in that one room with all the scions.
This everyone should switch whenever, depending on the activity that you're in. I mean, I don't always remember to do that myself, but it's a good idea to switch that.
We put the
shader. Now with the ready for the boots?
Boots. Yep, I'm ready.
Now with the boots, this has 2 different ways you can play it. When you are in a dungeon or a raid, and DPS is important, you always want to have weapon surges. People still forget this sometimes these days.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kingsley. I know exactly when to put these on. Why are you looking at me?
You're not the only one. A fair amount of people forget.
Well, and we're using arc, so we'll put an arc weapon surge on.
Yeah. And I recommend 3 because you may think it doesn't matter, but there's a difference between, what is it, like 18% and 23%. I forget what the exact numbers are, but I know 3 is not you want to have at least 2. And I like having 3 because DPS is super important to me.
Okay.
Now, let me mention though, if you're not going in an activity where you need boss DPS, the other way that this build can benefit is, and this is what the Mobilytics and the dim guides will show you, is you can instead do insulation that reduces class ability cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power.
Okay.
And then stacks on stacks, so you get an additional armor charge.
Mm-hmm.
And then arc scavenger would be really nice too, because you get bonus reserves for your arc weapons.
Gotcha.
That's kind of what was recommended. By the way, I got this build from Llama, a D2 streamer.
Nice.
And he tends to work. He's like one of the few people I've noticed. Like a lot of times they're like, oh, do this Warlock build. It's like a buddy build or a prismatic build or this or that. But like they don't usually focus on something that can be really good for DPS also. And I like having, again, builds that are DPS focused, but they can still do really good in just general content. They may not be the best build for that. Like sometimes I still switch back to my prismatic build, but that's what I like about this is it can be really good in DPS encounters.
Being I'm going to use this for DPS, I'm going to go with the triple.
Yeah. That's what I do most of the time also. The only thing I feel like I'm sometimes missing out on is the arc scavenger, but honestly, like the machine gun has tons of ammo. So
I'll keep for the dungeon that we run next, or what we're going to run Saturday. I'll put this setup on. Okay. All right. Now, what about class item?
All right. And then for the class, you might as well they recommend a class font. You don't have to do that. But what that does is collect an orb of power. Oh, no. Yeah, you do need that. Yeah, that's what gives you your armor charge. Sorry, I was thinking ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put down super.
Anyways, class font and then powerful attraction.
Okay.
Definitely important. You almost always want that on your class item so that nearby orbs, you'll just get them without having to run over every single one.
I have a question about that. What's the range on that? What do you think the range is?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really worry about it, but you can kind of tell, like when you're running around, my brain just makes it work without me really realizing, but I kind of run around close to things. And when I see they're getting picked up, I know I don't need to keep running, but yeah.
Anything else you want to put on that?
And then the last one is time dilation. You definitely want your armor charge to last longer.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
There you go.
Looks good.
And I'll tell you the extra credit stuff that you can do in the artifact.
Okay.
All right. So for this season, a couple things that are pretty good for it, but really the only ones that are probably the most important is gravitic. How do you say that word? Gravitic. Usually I'm good with pronouncing.
Which column?
Gravitic voltaic charge on the second column.
Yeah. Gravitic voltaic.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you have an arc or void super equipped, increase the maximum number of stacks of armor charge you can carry by 1. So that helps.
Nice.
And then next one you would probably want for sure is dielectric, of course, the fourth column at the top.
Yep. Yep.
Defeating arc debuff targets grants bolt charge, and rapidly defeating arc debuff targets spawns an orb of power. So there you go. See, this is why I feel like I do want to talk to some people that have been testing this build. I mean, maybe they didn't have the artifact perks or some other things, but I feel pretty safe damage resistance on this. If you have that turret thrown out and there's a bunch of ads around you and you're just taking them down real fast, you're going to be getting orbs like crazy and you're going to be getting healed like crazy. So I feel like I have a lot of damage resistance with this build.
Okay. Anything else?
And then, elemental orbs arc on the last column top.
Got it.
Arc weapon final blows. Again, the arc weapon stuff have a chance to spawn an arc elemental orb. So again, you're getting tons of orbs.
Good.
And then, of course, if you're doing the Praxic Blade, which isn't directly related to this build, but it still helps. All the sword ones like Combination Argent Blade and then Sword Storm combo are both good ones. Yeah, so.
I hate when they do this.
Yeah, that's the problem with building live, but hopefully it kind of helps so people can see the screen.
We'll make it easy here. I'll just reset it. All right, we know we want this. We want this. You said gravitic? Yep.
Yep, definitely that.
Let's go with that. And then you said...
The third column is dealer's choice. Nothing you really need that for this build, so whatever you want.
Rapid
I can tell you what I have, but it's kind of up to you.
I'm going to go with kinetic synthesis.
I'm doing the first two, press advantage and kinetic synthesis, but it's up to you.
Okay. And then dielectric.
And then the next column, dielectric for sure.
Yep.
And then I'm also doing armor smith and combination argent blade.
Okay. And then you said...
And then the last column, elemental orbs arc for sure at the top.
Storm combo.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
This build, people don't believe it, but it is very spammy on abilities also.
Okay.
And if you build this right, and if you get your super and your grenade up high, that's like, some people would say grenade's even more important than the super. But again, I like having the high DPS, so that's why super is important to me. But then I have my grenade at 130 plus a grenade font. So I think it's like actually like 150-ish or 160.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, you are getting your grenade and ionic sentries back like no more than like every 10 seconds if there's enemies around. And I've been getting my super back sometimes in as quick as 15 seconds.
Wow.
Another reason why I've been getting a lot of top DPS in the encounters is because I can get 2 supers often per DPS phase if it's long enough.
That's crazy.
And I'm talking about 2 of these supers, which are longer supers. I mean, people have been able to get 2 supers for the 1 in guns during DPS phases, but during a long one like this, like a Storm Trance to get 2 supers, and them throwing out 29k without buffs, I'm actually getting more than 29k.
That's awesome.
With some other buffs. So let me just tell you, with my super, basically I'm getting an increased 30% super damage on top of my 29k.
Wow.
So that's why, again, I'm kind of looking at those 40,000 numbers. This build is nuts. So I'm gonna definitely recommend people check it out.
I'm going to save this to Dim right now. Loadouts.
And my Prismatic Warlock build is my second favorite. There's a lot of good Prismatic Warlock builds. But yeah, this one I definitely recommend people try if they just want to focus on. And I promise if you play it right and you have your grenade and super up with the mods, you can feel pretty protected, unless where this build doesn't do so well, but then it's easy anyways. If there's not a lot of enemies around, and so like your grenades or your ionic sentries aren't really killing much,
right?
Then you're not going to be getting your abilities back quickly. But then again, any build, you won't be getting your abilities back as quick when there's less enemies around. So,
well, this is your build.
There's a lot of.
What do you want to name it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's your build.
Storm Trance is the top super DPS build.
Trance is the best DPS, PvE DPS build?
Sure.
DPS build.
I don't care about the name. Actually, Llama named it the OP Storm Dancer.
I'm going to name it Kingsleymac OP Storm Dancer.
Now, again, even though I'm talking this up, it's not going to be good in every situation.
Right.
When I'm in certain raids, and especially bosses that are further away or quicker DPS phases, I switch back to Needle Storm and Prismatic and things like that. But it's pretty hot.
Okay, saving it. And I will share it, and I'll put it in the chat.
But no one can disregard, though, the actual damage numbers that have been tested that show that Storm Trance is the top DPS by far. You've seen numbers like 9k, 14k, and then 29k for Storm Trance.
Oops, I forgot that. Hold on, let me share a link. I'm going to put it in chat for those of you who. There we go. It's the second link in chat, guys.
Anyone can DM me if you have questions about the build and how to make it work, and I'll post a Mobalytics build too. I kind of like how Mobalytics lays things out better than Dim. I think it's a little easier to see why you're doing certain things rather than just bring it in and just, they're saying use this. Dim is good for just putting stuff in place for you, but it's good to learn why. It's more visually pleasing on Mobalytics website, and I'll post that in the chat right now too, but I'll also give it out later.
I'm saving it in my game as well.
Because also I recommend Burst Glide, not Strafe Glide. So
put Strafe Glide on. Trust me, you'll float.
And go figure. This build also. No. Trust me. More people, the majority of people say Burst Glide.
All right.
And there's a good reason. You know why, people? You can go higher and further with Burst Glide.
All right. Fine. All right. Well,
I can't tell you how many times I've had to tell other warlocks that you're not making the jump. Oh, put on Burst Glide.
Here, you said you put it in the chat.
I did.
Yeah, I'll share it in the show notes, guys, on the podcast show notes, the Mobalytics link that Kingsley dropped in Discord.
I tease though. Obviously, you can use Strafe Glide. It has nothing to do with the build. That's just the jump you prefer.
Perfect, man. I mean, I love it. I'm glad you wanted to do this tonight because I thought it was pretty cool to put a build together live.
Yeah, the thing about this build is I hope they don't nerf Arc. I have a feeling they will next season because it's such an outlier compared to all the other supers in the game.
Yeah,
that I'm really quite sure, unfortunately, they're going to nerf it. So,
okay,
probably not like soon. They'll probably will nerf it when the next big DLC in the summer comes out. But I'm definitely taking advantage of it for now.
Okay. Any last words? Anything you want to mention before we move on?
No, just have fun.
Okay, we have our topic of the week, and this is Kingsley's idea as well. So, got to give credit where credit's due here. We'll do that when we return.
Hey, McMaximo here, one of the other Todds. You're listening to the Guardian Downcast, home of the coolest Discord group on the frickin' planet. Word.
All right, for our topic of the week, now that we're past the new car smell, quote unquote, of Renegades, Mike had a topic that he wants to discuss, so I'm going to give him the talking stick. And what's on your mind tonight, Kingsley?
Yeah, this is kind of even dovetailing on the end of the second half of last, DLC and season, and people, as Bungie has changed so many things in the portal, and people have complaints here and there, that I kind of feel like the portal has been a mostly failed experiment. I do love the layout of the portal. I'm not saying everything about it is bad, but there's more and more reasons, especially today, and I'll mention some of them in case people do not realize that it's kind of pointless doing a lot of things in the portal. Now, the things that are annoying about the portal is really just how they decided to bring in the different difficulty levels and all the modifiers. And that has ruined other parts of the game, like I've mentioned in previous weeks, and Todd agrees and other people agree that the stupid modifiers that have come from the portal, even things like solo op activities, have been added into the portal Lawless Frontier stuff. So things like Revive Token, it's not like those are only started when Portal was around, but they got more of a focus with the portal because Bungie is like, well, if we're going to have harder levels and make more things in the portal, we have to do these things to show why we're even doing a portal. So they've been adding all these things that people don't like. And of course, the whole thing with powering up and it was too slow and this and that. And then, I just feel like it was a mostly failed experiment. Another thing that basically the portal totally stopped was, and a lot of people still think that's the way to level up, but no, it's way better to level up just doing Renegade stuff. The dungeon, Lawless Frontier, even if you don't like that, you can level up without having to do solo ops and fire team ops and stuff. You can just do Renegade stuff. So it's like Portal's not needed for leveling up. Portal has annoying modifiers. But you know what is people are realizing one more reason why you don't really need the portal, at least the traditional area of the portal where you select the activity, is the quick play area of the portal is actually really, really good. And a lot of people aren't realizing this. Quick play solo ops, quick play fire team, and quick play Vanguard area, which I'll talk more in a second.
Okay.
When people were grinding the dawning activity, there's no reason you needed to pick actual one-off activities in the portal. People were realizing it was much better just to pick quick play because A, it was easier. You didn't have to deal with the annoying modifiers. And B, it would give you the same type of rewards as far as the dawning stuff, that type of stuff. The only thing that the quick play solo wasn't doing yet was giving you power leveling things.
That's what I said.
Which that's annoying because you could do quick play in the Vanguard area and it does power you up. So, but anyways, power doesn't matter also. And most people that do care are already at 550, or those that don't care like me, power doesn't matter anyway. So that's another reason why the portal doesn't matter, because it's just kind of a silly thing. It's like, why should anyone be messing around with Ultimate and Grandmaster stuff because they feel like they have to? It should be an opt-in system, not a opt-out. And right now it's kind of an opt-out where you have to realize no, I actually should be picking quick play, or I should be going to a different area. One last thing about it, and I want to hear your thoughts, and it's not a very long topic, but kind of what I feel like the new area is that they've hit in the seasonal hub is the Vanguard alerts. Yeah, this is still technically in the portal if you're just saying go to portal first, but it's not the regular portal that we're used to. You go to the seasonal area and you go to Vanguard alerts. Well, guess what? Vanguard alerts give you way more rewards than anything else in the portal by 10 times. It just drops like candy.
10 times?
You get so much stuff that just running one activity can almost fill your postmaster. If all your that's a little bit of a joke, maybe halfway filled, but let's just go through the list here. So they'll give you 3 bonus drops, the actual reward, and then if you go to the challenges, they give you even extra rewards. And then you can run like an arena op, or like you can do the Crucible stuff if you don't like arena ops, or you can do the fire team Vanguard things. The funny thing is the 6-player activities go quicker than the 3-player activities. That's another reason why I like the arena ops better than the fire team ops.
Wait a minute. The 6 players go faster than the 3s?
Yes. Wow. I've always liked 6-player activities better. You can get some done in like 8 to 10 minutes, and some strikes can take like 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
So the reward to return ratio of how much time you put in it is just amazing in the Vanguard Alerts area. And I feel like Bungie is coming full circle on the whole portal thing. Was like, select something, pick your level, or it decides on your power level. But guess what? Now everything's going back to quick play lists again. Whether you want to do, I'm sure Bungie will change the solo ops quick play area to be more rewarding also. That was in that other deprecated area, not the Vanguard Alerts area. But like, I feel like it was a failed experiment. They should have just kept playlists all along, because these new Vanguard Alerts area, you get way more rewards.
Right.
Yeah. Is there anything you still like about the portal?
Let's go to Dawning. Because in Dawning, what I did do I did 2 things to get my Dawning. I did max out my Dawning track. I didn't really care about Starbaker. I didn't really worry about it. Titles just don't mean as much to me anymore. But I did run a lot of solo ops. And what I would do...
Did you know you could have done quick play?
Here's the thing. I didn't know. The thing I hate about... I've done quick play solo ops. The thing I hate about quick play solo ops is they'll put some stupid modifier in there. Like limited health, and the ones that really affect how you play.
But they are easier modifiers than Grandmaster Ultimatum. I guarantee that.
I'm telling you, I can go in. I run Ultimatum because I have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going back to. Your first thing is, I have more fun running my alt accounts at 300 power or 350 or 375, whatever they're at now. I'm almost at 540 on my main account.
Yeah.
And solo ops is miserable, man. I mean, I've gotten used to it. I know what modifiers to put on that are the least important to me, that are really going to affect how my play style. But as soon as the timer
300 level.
Well, in Ultimatum, as soon as the timer goes to 0, if you have 10 revives from killing all the taking your time and killing all the champions, it immediately goes to 0. That annoys the hell out of me, because I earn those revives. Let me keep the damn revives. You could do that in the level above it, but as soon as you hit Ultimatum, it's like all bets are off. You have to. They're forcing you to speedrun Ultimatum, which most people probably are anyway, because it's the same old activities. And I'll admit, man, I haven't been doing much Lawless Frontier, and I think everybody knows why. Is because it is match made, and I'm not going to go too deep down that rabbit hole. Maybe for another day. But you get blueberries in there that don't know what they're doing. And keep in mind, if I want powerful gear, I have to match other Ultimatum level people. I have to match other people that are in the 500s. And you assume that they know what they're doing. You get in there and they're clueless. Anyway, not to go too deep down that, but here's the thing. Until they fix the shared revive token thing, I have no incentive to play Lawless Frontier. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's people.
Quick play is better. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I played quick play a few times, and there was one modifier that I was on when I played quick play, and I hated it. It was like my worst modifier. I can't name it off the top of my head, but I remember running quick play.
That happens even if you do the selectable one. A lot of people will back out if they don't like the extra goal. They'll back out and back in again.
But the fact of the matter is, at level 540, I am miserable playing solo ops. I get through them.
Do the dungeon then. Yeah, don't do solo ops.
Well, that's what I've been doing. I really love playing the dungeon, and every time I get a chance, like we played last night Wednesday night before our show, and we were just flying through it. It was only my 3rd run. You guys had run it a lot more times than me, so you know exactly where to go. So I was kind of flailing in the back, trying to catch up with you guys, because you guys were speed running it pretty quick. But here's the thing about solo ops. Bungie spent all this time, and they put all their time and money on this portal system, thinking that was really what was going to get people loving this game and re-engaging and having the FOMO, right? You want all the gear. That's the one thing, the one FOMO that is still in place for Bungie right now are those damn armor sets. Because try going anywhere in the game right now and getting Smoke Jumper. Try going back in the game and getting Disaster Core. You can't. If you weren't there playing it in Edge of Fate, weapons too. Yeah. If you weren't there playing Edge of Fate, then you've missed out on those weapons and armor sets. And some of those armor sets are fantastic. So they do have the FOMO there, but the problem is it's solo ops. It's like Crucible. They set it up one time and they have really done nothing to it. The new solo op that they put in is so freaking sweaty that whenever I see that, what is it, Tiberium or something? I can't remember what it's called. I don't have my game up now. Anytime I see that one as the featured one for the week, I just don't play. I really hate that one. And it's, I probably, as I run it more and more, I'm sure I'll get through it. And I've gotten through it several times, but it is freaking sweaty, man. And the fact that I have to jump in because of my power level, and if I want to get the good grades, I have to play an ultimatum. I'm strictly limited to ultimatum. And if I play quick play, I don't think I get powerful gear there, Kingsley, in quick play. Trying to remember.
For solo ops, yeah.
Yeah. So I have to go back to matchmaking.
But also but isn't the actual reward better than the number? Again, power doesn't matter.
But come on, man. I'm at 540. I want to get to 550. I want to get it done.
Oh, sure.
So
but the best way then is other ways, not solo ops anyways. I do think I do think the
you know what? You're exactly right. Damn, somebody clip that. Kingsley, you're exactly right. Because getting more powerful, Tajo can attest to this, getting more powerful in this game, it doesn't matter. Because they have these stupid set deltas in all the games. So the days of wanting to get to 550 so you can be a little more powerful than your enemies and just run through and speed run stuff and have fun. No, that means I got to get even sweatier because of my power level, some abstract number because I played longer than some people. And
guess what they should have done instead?
What?
Keep it on the old system where you just pick expert. You pick Grandmaster if you want.
And still get
you opt in, you don't opt out. And right now you have to opt out because, it'll put you in ultimatum unless you go to quick play or you drop down a level or things like that. Yeah.
Amazing Taco King had a comment here. He said, I've been running Pinnacle Ops featured strike solo, customize it to get a high score at the end. I haven't tried that yet. I'll have to try that and see. I'm going to run a solo dungeon eventually, Amazing Taco King. Don't you worry. I got to get more reps in, dude. What I always say, get your reps in. Got to get your reps in. Well, trial and error.
Sometimes the pinnacle things, exotic missions are easier solo than dungeons. Not saying you can't do the dungeon, but just getting that for people listening. Sometimes people hear oh, people are running solo dungeons. I should try it too. Don't feel peer pressure if you don't want to. And if you start anywhere, start with an easier exotic mission. Some are easier than others. Yeah. Whisper's not bad. Other ones, other than the jumping puzzle, of course. Yeah. If you're not used to that. But
and Scarlet Maddie in our Discord chat said, honestly, Todd, Strand Pikes have carried me through every Grandmaster Frontier so far. F the blueberries. It's still the problem. The problem still is you have to share those tokens with these people that you don't even know or not even communicating with. That's a major blunder, man.
Which isn't an issue on Fireteam as it is much they shouldn't even have that in solo ops, in my opinion. The stupid,
it's a mess, man.
Those stupid revive timers,
even
revive tokens. Yeah.
If I have to be kind of in the mood to run my ultimatum solo ops now, because I'm thinking, okay, because the thing I still love about solo ops, it's a get in and get out. It's if I have 30 minutes to jump in and play some Destiny, I can jump in for 30 minutes and get 2 ultimatum level solo ops done. And that's me taking my time. And that's even letting the timer expire where I have no revives at the end and I just have to play super conservative at the very end with the final bosses and stuff. And sometimes I'll breeze through. It just depends what kind of mood I'm in. If I just want to get it done, I'll just, it's objective based. You don't worry about killing everything. And screw the champions because they're all those champion revive tokens you're getting from killing them are going to disappear anyway. I don't know why I still go through that, but I see a champion and I'm just drawn to it. I have to kill it.
What's more important to you, the amount and the variability of loot, or a number, your power level?
Number means, I'm telling you, the number means nothing. The number, exactly. I don't know why did Bungie go back to this system? Why did they go back to the number system?
If you do the Arena Vanguard alerts, they're like 8 minutes. You get so many rewards. You get so much loot thrown at you. And guess what you get too? You get the one thing you complain about you don't have. You get enhancement prisms.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, thanks to Dawning, I got a ton of all that stuff now. I really farmed that when Dawning was here. Yeah, but even now, no.
But enhancement prisms, you get golf balls, you get so much freaking loot in that area.
Running Ultimatum, just for those of you who don't run Ultimatum mode, at the end, every now and then you'll get a golf ball. Almost every time you'll get a prism. And of course you get tier 5 gear. Everything's tier 5. Some of the engrams that your champions drop or, bosses just inadvertently drop as you're going through will be lesser power. Like if I'm not going to get 540 gear on those engrams, it'll be like 517 or something. But what I did, here's going back to, I don't know why I really got off topic. What I did in Dawning is I would go to solo ops and I would go to expert where I had radar, where I could see the enemies and not have to worry about champions. And I would just run through it really quickly. You get 24 to 30 of Dawning the essence. I mean, I had 1,000 plus. I had 14 or 1,500 essence by the time and I was at the night before it reset. I was just building cookies and getting stuff, and I got some pretty cool weapons, and all at power, by the way. So that I did do, and it was all 300 level gear. I didn't care because I have a lot of tier 5 stuff I love. But here's the deal: the thing I'm not getting in solo ops, Kingsley, I'm not getting any of the blasters. That's the problem. I have to go into Lawless Frontier to get all the blaster stuff because I have to get the currency to focus the blasters. Well, see what I'm saying? At the outpost, Tharsis outpost
stuff, you're only going to get in the dungeon, and raid stuff you're only going to get in the raid, and that's normalish. Yeah.
So the hang up for me and what's really dampened my spirits playing Destiny lately is the fact that if I go into if tomorrow Bungie texted or put out on Twitter and said, "Listen, we hear you. There's no more revive tokens. Just have fun and play with whatever blueberries you get when you're matchmaking, and have fun." Or if they said, if you're playing solo or, a firewalled version of and I tried that. But the enemies keep getting denser and denser. And it's not about the powerful enemies. It's just the numbers of them just overwhelm you at the very end. I'll get through three of the phases. In the fourth phase, I just can't. There's just too much coming at me. So they don't scale it to a single player. They used to always do that in past games or in some of the activities. If they did that or eliminated the revive tokens tomorrow, I'd be in there getting all kinds of rep right away. So,
yeah. Well, that's why I think the portal's been mostly a failed thing, because their main thing they were building around was the difficulty levels and building it around power. And that was the big mistake. And I saw that from day one. I feel like they're slowly moving away from it, and people are realizing more and more, why are we running if you want the challenge, that's one thing, but why are we running the stupid ultimatum levels in the portal? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? It's, you can get, if power level is important to you, you can run the dungeon versus running ultimatum solo ops. If rewards are important to you, you can do the Vanguard alerts. So I just feel like there's less and less reasons to do the original portal stuff.
The Vanguard alerts, in order to get powerful gear, you have to run them really at high level, don't you? Aren't those really tough? The Vanguard alerts?
No, they're quick play also. You don't get to pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got to try
they're
those
more
out.
about they're more about the total loot that you get, and then you get the enhancement prisms and all that stuff.
Wait a minute. I thought the Vanguard alerts were like the new Nightfalls. Like really super sweaty.
No, that's one thing in that. No. Have you even looked at that tab?
No. You know what I've been looking at?
Ignore it.
You know what I've been looking at? The things that Bungie's doing right is the Vanguard orders. Right. I've been cranking out orders, man. You can see I had the yellow blade. I got that from an exotic mission from doing orders over and over.
So there's news articles and videos that show that the most loot you can get in the game is under Vanguard alerts, the quick play areas, either the arena or the fire team or the control, whatever the PvP one is, control. They also have Grandmaster in there, but that's just a very specific area for getting that super special weapon,
right.
you know. And then, of course, the dungeons in there and the raids in there. Those are other ways to get the power. So the amount of rewards you get in the Vanguard alerts area is often way more. And I think they will change the portal with either the mid-season update or the next DLC, where I think they're going to... I mean, here's the thing. What is power even? If they don't raise power again, what's it even going to matter? Because either people don't care or they're already at 550 or something like that. So it's like, if power, then there's even less of a reason to have the difficulty levels, because it was all tied to that anyways. It should be opt-in versus opt-out. And then everyone will realize even more that the whole portal thing was a failed experiment with building it around difficulty levels. And they should have just done, it was so simple. Here's how you do it. You play on expert. Doesn't matter if it's quick play or solo. Yes, you should have a solo instance option always.
Right.
But expert gives you +1. Oh, go figure.
Yeah.
Master gives you +3. Oh, go figure. Grandmaster gives you +5. Go figure. I mean,
and it should all be tier 5 loot, because I put in the time. I'm at 500 and something. I should get tier 5 loot.
Well, that's the other failed experiment, because we can upgrade our tiers in 2 months now too.
Mm-hmm.
They're providing an option for that.
Shadow and Order probably.
Yeah, and then
is when they'll add that.
Yeah, expert gives you 1 loot drop piece. Master gives you 3 loot drop pieces. Grandmaster gives you 5. You know, like
expert will give me base level 300 loot right now. 300. That's all it gives me.
Yeah. What a crazy, weird idea I have.
And tier
it's
3.
just so simple. They could have just done that.
Yeah, I ran the expert. I got tier 3, 300 loot. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, some of you out there are saying right now, well, Gator, you want the good loot, man. You got to play the hard stuff. Hey, I get that, man. But
you don't always. You don't. That's the thing. You get tons of good loot in the arena op.
Hey, what's up, MC Squared?
So
thanks for dropping by, man.
Yeah.
Scarlet Maddie had a question. He goes, when do you guys predict we'll actually see anything close to a roadmap for this year? I don't think we're going to see another roadmap. I think what I'm waiting for is the state of the game. I was really hoping they would have at least a statement in the TWAB this week that they were going to have a state of the game on this date. And we haven't heard anything.
That's what people kind of mean. That those terms can be synonymous for some people.
Okay. Yeah, state of the game.
The state of the game, they will say something that's coming down the road.
Right.
So maybe it's not like a multi-year roadmap, but it'll be somewhat of a roadmap. Anyways, I predict by end of March. And I think they may do it after Marathon gets released, which is supposed to be beginning of March.
Okay. Yeah, good point.
I don't know.
Amazing Talking. If you want more blasters, just run the campaign missions for loot. That's a good idea. We can run those over, right? Can't we? Or do we have to go to our other characters?
Yeah, or else he wouldn't have said that. Yeah, I don't know, but that sounds like you can.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, I ran Devil's Ruin like 12 times last week. Solo Praxic Blade, Stronghold Titan. Well, okay. Yeah, you can just block forever. And just held Reflect the whole time. Yeah, that's Astacross, man. That's what he does. He'll just sit in there and just lean on that button. And allocate, yes. Conquest equals Grandmaster Nightfalls. I had to do the expert conquest to get my Guardian number up. I ran in there, I got hit one time and I was injured and I couldn't. It was some stupid some stupid modifier that if you get injured, you have to just give up. And then guess what? You're out of there. Like, okay, I'm not doing that. So yeah, I've had a bad taste in my mouth with those conquests.
Yeah.
It just
you don't have to do that either if you don't care about your Guardian rank, but they do need to have hard stuff in the game to show a high status if people want it. Yeah.
Absolutely. But for the Joe Schmo like me, who's just a solo player in the game that just wants to run stuff, when he has an hour before going to bed.
To get the highest level. Yeah.
I've earned it though. I've got 500 plus power. I put the time in. I should be getting the tier 5 drops.
Oh, no.
Now.
Well, yeah, tier 5. Yeah. But not Guardian rank necessarily.
Guardian rank. No.
In the game for Guardian.
I'm totally get that. If you want to be level 11 in Guardian rank, yes, you have to play the hardest content.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Then what's it mean if it's not? Now, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the fact that I've played the longest means I have to play sweaty stuff all the time if I want to get a good grade, which means I get tier 5 loot, and means I get high power loot, which increases my power level, which means nothing because every time I go into an ultimatum, it's minus 40 anyway. or minus 30.
The tier stuff means nothing either because that's going to be changing here real soon. And here's the thing too, like I'm 400 something and I'm getting tier 5 drops. So like, why do I care to be 500 or higher? I don't,
See,
So,
Bungie could have fixed this a long time ago and just made everything craftable. Or had the drop-down box in your collections tab where once you earn that perk, they bank it. And every gun you've earned with that perk, then you can just put it together however way you want. Boom, let's go play.
that's different than tiers, though. Yeah, you still got to do something to get more.
Yeah, but all tiers is that it's you're just banking against bad RNG. Tier 5s just give you more options, so your RNG chances are better. That's all it does.
Yeah.
You can eliminate all of that by just making stuff craftable. I don't know why people didn't like crafting. That made me play so much every week.
I think it should be a mix on that. Yeah.
Well, and now, okay.
Oh, well,
tier 5.
Yeah, I play more with not crafting. Yeah.
Tier 5 armor, that's a different story. Tier 5 armor gives you higher stats, means bigger and stronger, stats on your stuff. I mean, that's all goes into build crafting. I love the armor A+. I love the armor setups right now. I love like I said, the only FOMO they have in the game, or other than the guns that come each season, whatever they call it, major update or whatever, is the fact that you can get really these armor set bonuses, which that's a major win for Bungie. They're doing a couple things really well. They just,
yeah,
yeah,
we're getting off topic. The topic wasn't what's good and what's bad about the whole game. I was just talking about the portal, but
sorry. And MC Squared said hard for Bungie to keep people on the loot treadmill with crafting. But here's all they had to do with the crafting, MC Squared, was get rid of the red box weapons. Because once people would get 5 red box, they're like, okay, I'm done. Now I can put whatever I want on it. Well, you don't have to level the weapon up. But what if as you leveled the weapon up and used the weapon and got more kills with it, you would get it closer to being able to craft it. That's what I'm talking about. All they had to do was just tweak that little thing. Forget about these stupid red border weapons. That's just an extra. Anyway, that may be another topic down the road, but well, like I said, I know it's a rare thing, but I'm actually in agreement with you, Kingsley. I think the portal system, the only way I can see the portal system becoming viable in this game again is doing what they kind of talked about when the dev updates came out, and those developer insight articles came out, when they have where I can go and play any strike solo, list all, just have a drop-down menu where every one of those strikes I can jump in and say, you know what, I've never run this strike solo. Let's see if I can get through it. And then put your modifiers in and boom, go. But the fact that we literally, if you go to solo ops right now, I think you have 6 items you can do, 6 different little mini maps you can run, and that's it. Man, talk about those get boring.
Well, that is okay, and people keep forgetting this, but I believe that's a different topic, why there's less options in the portals, because I don't think they have the development power to keep every strike up to date in the game at all times. And so that's not even related to portal. I think that was just their way of tricking us to say like, oh, this is going to be so cool.
Get us to buy in.
We have less options.
If they put this tiered loot system, armor and weapons, into all of Destiny, if they just got us all on that system, everyone would play it. It's just the fact that it's so pigeonholed right now to this box on the upper left corner of your game, the portal, that's the only way we could power up. And now finally, at least if you go into Renegades, you can level up that way too. And the dungeon. I'm loving the dungeon, man. I love that dungeon. I'm having a lot of fun playing the dungeon.
That is like the best gem right now because A, it's fun. B, it has really good weapons. And the sad thing, you say you want to get the blasters, but
I like the blasters.
Kind of feel like the weapons in the dungeon are way better than the Renegade's weapons. But anyways.
Well, they're blasters.
Well, yeah, that's true. Sorry, but I thought you meant the Renegade.
I like the new blaster system. Frontier. I love the sounds, the sound design. Whoa, you guys really you stepped up there.
But the dungeon, if you care about power, you're still getting things dropping at power. If you care about the tiers, you're still getting that. If you care about the quality of the weapons, they're there. And the dungeon's fun. And the main downside is like, you got to have a team unless you really want to sweat it and run it solo or something like that. That's really the only downside there. So if it can be done in the dungeon, it can be done in the quick play areas. It can be done in the solo op areas. Just stop doing the power system. That's the difficulty system that's tied into the portal. That's what they need to get rid of. And I'm not saying like they should delete the portal, because I still think they want to, unfortunately, probably because of the amount of staff, they don't want necessarily people in all areas of the game. Because what could happen, let's say they had good weapon drops and high level powers on anything in the game. Well, someone's going to find a cheese thing that they haven't had time to look at, like some old strike that normally no one would want to run, but someone found a thing. Well, they don't always have time to like fix that. They want to just have a small area that they're working on versus the whole game. And that's obviously why they did the portal too, is to kind of pigeonhole us into this smaller area of the game.
One thing,
it's unfortunate, but that's probably why we don't get the good drops in other areas.
One comment on that. Bungie, let us have fun. Quit worrying. I have another topic coming up on a future roundtable episode that I'm going to talk about, but Bungie, quit worrying about being the fun police. There's nobody playing the game right now. Let us play with the glitch. Let us go crazy. Let us have fun. Let us feel powerful again. I remember when I would solo Nightfalls in Destiny 1, it was a great challenge for me, because from trial and error, getting booted to orbit, when you finally died and you didn't get all the way through and kill the boss, I miss those days when I could jump in and spend an hour on a Nightfall strike and just work my way through it slowly but surely. No timers, no taking away from the score if you're taking too long. What is Bungie's fascination with us speedrunning everything?
You have like 3 different topics.
Sorry,
I'm brought up.
I'm just bitching him on it.
Please keep it on what I'm talking about.
Yes. So long story short, the portal system, its relevance is getting less and less because we have other methods of powering up our gear. And I'm going to try the solo strike playlist. I'm going to try the Vanguard alerts. I'm going to try those next week, and I'm going to try the solo quick play and see. Usually I have some stupid perk on there, like the person with the highest score gets less damage over time or whatever. I'm like, come on, man. Let us play the game.
It's better than Ultimatum, I guarantee that. And there's not locked loadouts, and there's not revive tokens, and
it's so
better than Ultimatum.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it was a good topic. I figured it was probably apropos because, we're all getting back from our holiday break now, and we're kind of looking ahead now and going, okay, Renegades is come and gone. What's next for Bungie? What are we going to do now? So anyway, good topic.
Nothing.
Thanks, Kingsley.
Other games. Thanks.
The doctor said, it's not horribly sweaty to solo. Personally, though, I think every raid and dungeon should be portal activities. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I just want to solo Nightfalls again. I really can't do that, man. I'm not a god tier player, but I can hold my own, man. I've played this game for 11 years now, almost 12 years. I know how the mechanics work. When it's just damn near impossible to, I don't know. Anyway, that'd be another topic for another day. When you were
soloing them before, did they not have a thing where when you would die, you would have to start over?
Yes, you get booted to orbit. But it made you play conservatively, and you basically, what I would do, I'd compartmentalize each encounter. I'd say, okay, I know the snipers are going to come out up top, so we're going to take those out first. Then we'll take care of the grunts on the bottom, and then we'll start pinging away at the major yellow bar enemy, and then move on to the next. And I would just slowly eliminate the room. Room by room, I would eliminate it until I get to the final boss. And there'd be a place usually you could go and hide where you could actually take a breath. You could call it a glitch or whatever in the game. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And you could actually not cheese, but you can actually buy yourself a little bit of time to rest and reload and get some more ammo and whatever, because they had ammo bricks back then. You could just produce them. A lot of things.
So what do you not like now? Just the other modifiers that they've added?
The modifiers are insane, Kingsley. When I tried to solo, and I tried to do solo conquest when Edge of Fate came out, I would get hit one time from void splash damage, and I would have that weaken effect, where you're hobbling, you're like down low, and you can't revive yourself. And the only way you can revive yourself is someone else on your team revives you. Well, that's a stupid modifier because I obviously don't have teammates. So literally, once you got a little bit of splash damage, you pretty much just have to go to orbit and start over. That's just insane, man. Give me a fighting chance.
Well, obviously the point of what a Nightfall was back then was supposed to have been an easier level compared to what we can get these days, because people wanted more difficulty along with the easier difficulty too. Yeah. Like if someone can solo a Nightfall back then, it's like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but no big deal. Now, if someone can solo an Ultimatum Grandmaster Nightfall, that's like, of course it's harder than it was back.
Well, that's Destiny a challenge for the higher tier players. Deadpool 1 Merc says you can use your super to get out of that. Well, I probably at the time already used my super once and then I got hit again. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I hate to complain, man. I hate complaining. I really do. I really love this game. I want to be invested in the game, but there's some things that they do that are just so stupid. And they got to think of the solo player, because let's face it, a lot of people are playing solo now because their clans have disappeared and their buddies are off playing another game, and they're the diehard that are sticking around, Bungie. They're the ones that still want to shoot aliens in the head. So make it easy for solo players to do a lot of the activities. All right, I'm done. I'm going to get off my soapbox.
Well, then I'm going to say one last thing too. The issue isn't even the difficulty there for solo players, but it's like there's just not enough content. That's the main reason why people are leaving.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. I mean, the portal system really, really was a blow to the game. Yeah. Renegades has made it better, but maybe it'll be a future topic. We'll get into that at another time. But yeah, good topic. Good topic. I think it needed to be said today, because we are going into our first part of the year here, and we have to ask ourselves, is the portal even relevant anymore? So. All right, we have questions from our community right after this. Hey Guardians, would you like to send a question for the show to us? There are 4 ways to do it. First, you can join our Discord server at discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. There's also a join link in our show notes down below. We have Guardians from all walks of life and all over the world, from new lights to day one players to hardcore gamers. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show. So come hang out with us. You can also email us with your question at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also occasionally post about our upcoming show and guest, and you can respond there with your question at Guardian_D_cast is our X handle. Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your question at guardiandowncast.com, and we might play it on the podcast. Think of it as talking with us right on the show. Thanks for listening, and later, Guardian. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment of our show. We got our questions from our community, and we have 3 questions from Mr. Dead Rabbit. The first one is there any characters' lore you'd like them to go into more? Is there any character you want to know more about, Kingsley, in the game? I always say Ikora, because I think we need to know more about Ikora than we already do. I would love it if there was an expansion with just her origin story in it. That'd be so cool. She's just such a badass lady. Sweeperbot. Gotcha. That would be good. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a joke, but actually
people would want to know.
I like the really unique, how did all the robots come to be versus I know it's like left over from the tech era, the golden age and all that stuff, but I feel like there's more there to the story. Like, remember, Callus had all his robot. I mean, the version of Callus was a robot in the Leviathan raid.
Right.
And I just feel like there's a lot there with like the robots and the frames that we could learn more about.
Right. Yeah. The second question he had is, do you ever think we'll see under Xur's hood? And do you think it's really his face or maybe an exotic helmet we can acquire one day? What would an exotic Xur helmet look like? Well, I mean, it's the tentacle face, right?
Honestly, I feel like, we see the front of his face.
You see his eyes.
To remove the hood, I feel like it would also be the tentacles on the top and the back too. That's what I'm guessing. I don't really know or care on that one, but it's a fun question. I think there's a lot of ways you could play that. You could be like, it's just almost like a hologram or a way he's presenting himself to us.
Yeah.
Who knows why? But when you've seen some of actually, it almost makes sense when you see from Edge of Fate and kind of like, what was it? The 9 that was in the there was a lot of tentacle stuff there around the eye
Yep.
and stuff. So yeah, maybe there's something to it.
I would like to see a helmet that had a TV screen on it where it projected whatever you chose on it, like whatever picture you wanted to put in there. So I feel that with Xur, it could be anybody underneath that hood, you know? But you do see some glowing eyes, so maybe that's a mask, like a Guardian mask? Who knows? Funny question. I like it. Final question. Who did you give the most cookies to, and who do you think got the most overall? I got an answer to that. Did you do cookies? Did you bake some cookies, Kingsley?
I did some. Obviously, Zavala, because least effort. He's right there, close by, and it's also like the first one on the screen when you're baking. Right. So at least for me personally, and I don't see why anyone wouldn't kind of go to like Zavala first until, of course, you run out. Now, I guess the hardcore players might have given more cookies to another specific person, but when you add in all the casuals too, they didn't care as much about the event and baked some cookies. Yeah. And even if you baked a lot of cookies, I feel like Zavala is going to be at least up there.
Yeah. I think Zavala got the most because it's the most convenient. There's only two people I really made cookies for. That was Zavala and the dog. It was one of the newer cookies. It just depended.
My second most one was the gunsmith because that was the second closest.
That is true. I probably made a few for him as well, but I had whatever the materials were for, what is the dog's name again?
Archie.
I made the most cookies for Archie. I think I made 75 cookies for Archie, and he gave me some really good stuff. So, and I probably made 40 cookies maybe for Zavala, and I probably made another 10 for the gunsmith. But that's all I gave cookies to this year, other than the ones, you had to make the new recipes, which was the Aeon counselor on Kepler, Archie, and there was a third one. Remember what it was?
Was it? I don't remember.
I think there were three new cookies that you had to make. I know the two. Anyway, yeah, that's what we did. Mr. Dead Rabbit, thanks for those questions. Hey, if you guys want to send us a question, we give you plenty of ways to do it. You can send us a voicemail, by the way, if you want to ask your question in a voice message. It's just guardiandowncast.com and just hit the leave voicemail. It's a tab on the right side. You can't miss it. It floats everywhere when you navigate that site. Of course, you can put them in our podcast questions channel here in our Discord, or you can ask them live in chat. So I don't see any other questions. Anything in Discord chat, Kingsley?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. Well, we have our catch-up segment we'll be doing next. A lot of stuff in this segment. This is probably the bulk of our show this week. So we'll do that right after this.
Yo, what up? Native Raider here, and you're listening to Guardian Downcast. Let's get it.
All right. Since it is the very first show of 2026, and have you already been making mistakes when writing the date? I've already done it 5 times today when I was working. I was doing invoices, putting the date on it. And I was like 2025, scratching out at 26.
I have not had to write it yet, but I was in a conversation with someone and I started to say January 2025 and I changed my wording to 26 at the last second.
Yeah. Well, I have a, how should I say this? I have a Day One app. It's a journaling app that I've used. I've never journaled a day in my life. And Day One prompts me to journal every day because that's how I get my stories. If you don't remember how you're living your days, how are you supposed to write stories about them? So I've really been on and off with it, but it had these set of questions that they gave me. And when the year, finally came to an end this past week, I decided I'm not going to do the usual New Year's resolutions because I never stick with them. But what I did do is a little differently is I asked some questions of myself while reflecting on the past year and also looking ahead to the future. So if you don't mind participating, Mike, I think I gave you the questions in advance so you could think about them. I wanted to share these questions with you out there, and it might get a little personal, so I apologize if it gets too sappy. But, maybe you guys can ask these questions in your own life and maybe reevaluate your next year coming up or your past year. All right. First question. What was your favorite way to spend time in 2025? You want to go first? You want me to? I'll tell you what, why don't you go first and I'll go first on the next one. We'll alternate it.
Sounds good. Yeah. So my favorite way, probably, and I definitely have always enjoyed still playing video games in 2025, but it's kind of boring. But like with work stuff, I feel like I was able to work on more interesting projects this last year than ever before. And I'm really trying this last year, I really tried to simplify even more. I am a huge proponent of like simple billing. I call it chill billing. I like to just have customers on a monthly number that works for them and me, and then I don't worry about counting hours. I just give them unlimited support.
It's like a retainer.
Generally, unless
like a
it's a really big
with
project.
An attorney?
It's like a retainer, but unlimited support.
Gotcha.
But anyways, I got to work on some really cool projects where I would research new networking firewall techniques and integration of just keeping computers up to date and secure and compliance. And I won't go into details because it can be boring and geeky for people, but I got to work on some cool projects. And that was my favorite way this last year to kind of like grow and learn, was to, luckily I love my job. I love what I do. I own my own business and
never work
just
a day in your
helping people
life
come up.
If you love it.
Yeah. I mean, well, you work when you get annoying customers and stuff, but generally I would say 98% of my customers are awesome.
Nice, man.
So, yeah.
Okay. For me, I have to say it's my hobby is going out to dinner and a movie with my wife every week, sometimes twice a week, depending if there are good movies out or not. It's truly our time to forget about work. And she's a crazy, dedicated teacher. So she's at school like 12 hours a day. I mean, she gets out of there, gets there at dark in the morning and leaves at dark at night. I mean, she really does. She's very dedicated to her kids and her school. And I applaud her for that. She has passion for that. I have passion for my business, but we come together, we get dinner, we just go out and enjoy a movie. And we're both of that age that we love the movie theater. And lately it's been really nice because they're not crowded, except over the holidays. It was a little crowded, but usually we can sit there and the movie's nice. You don't deal with noisy people in the theater or people who bump your seat when they're walking out and all that crap. So yeah, that was my best time. Now, if there was to be a second place, a very close second, I love doing the live shows, man. I really get jazzed up on Thursday nights. I know when I'm going to go live, and I know a lot of my friends and a lot of our community are going to show up and see how we do and see what we're going to talk about every week. I really get jazzed up about the live shows, and I don't really plan on stopping that. Going into 2026, I really want to keep it going. Now that I finally got the tech down, I know how to understand how everything works, and I'm able to talk with our chat that comes live. And then, of course, we have a lot of people who watch the show afterwards on the replays on the channels. So thank you for that. And it really does. It's really one thing I look forward to every week. Okay, next question. What are you leaving behind in 2025? I'll answer first. For me, I've been struggling with sticking to a workout plan at the gym. And I've been going pretty consistently over the last part of 2025. And I want to make sure to leave any doubt that I'm going to quit. Because add to the fact that I know you guys probably heard me complaining that I was having a lot of hip pain. I actually had some bursitis and stuff from some freak bowling accident. Kind of a weird sprain. It was a weird angle and it sprained my hip really bad. It was kind of a wake-up call for me when I realized that working out again at the gym fixed my pain more than 12 to 15 weeks of physical therapy I paid for. So leaving that doubt behind that I'm going to quit doing the gym. And I'm pretty much all in on the gym now. So I work out at least once a week at the gym, and I do cardio throughout the week as well. And my job is cardio, so I'm always active that way. So what about you, Mike? What are you leaving behind in 2025?
This was the hardest one to answer. I have a lot of small things all the time because I try to live a stress-free life. So I leave things behind all the time, but I don't really see it that way either. It's because it's not ever a big decision like, oh, I got to leave this behind, I don't know. I mean, I think just more, I never let family and friends set expectations for me, but more just maybe people even see that even more. It's just leaving behind like things that don't truly make me happy. Again, that wasn't a big thing I needed to leave behind this last year, but it's all I can really answer right now. I'm sorry on that one.
Well, I want to share, Notorious had a comment in the Discord chat. He said, after many physical setbacks and time in the hospital, I have truly loved spending time with my dear wife. Yeah, man. You don't realize how good you got it until things change.
Yeah.
Health concerns always will.
Health, yep. Mm-hmm.
They'll bring things right to the forefront. You'll know exactly what you should be thankful for and what is noise, Okay. What is one word or phrase that sums up this past year for you?
Yeah. And I don't want to steal your idea, but I really feel like I would have said this. We kind of had like a pre-talk for not all these questions, but at least someone. But I definitely feel like I'm not going to go into details. I'm not going to go down that road, but uncertainty.
Yeah.
Or this last year. Yep.
Yeah. Mine was unsettling.
Take that however you want.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My word was unsettling. I mean,
word. Yeah.
Whether it's about current events in the U.S. right now or the world, or something as small as Bungie's very delicate future. I mean, that pretty much encapsulates my year. It's been just unsettling. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have similar thoughts to you, but yeah, definitely not going to go into details because that could cause drama. But
okay. Yeah, I won't either. I won't go any further than that. Okay, next question. What is one thing you want to carry forward from 2025 into 2026? For me, I've created another podcast, not the shameless plug here. It's called 50 Years Experience Required. And I've actually made a new YouTube channel called Todd the Exterminator. It's more of my work-based stuff that I'm putting into video. I want to continue to produce content for these two new outlets, but this is in no way taking time from the show. It's just a creative kind of point in my life where I want to expand and share my expertise and my life experiences in kind of a memorable way. And what better way to do it than, putting it into a video or an audio podcast. So yeah, that was it for me. What are you bringing?
Yeah, one thing that I want to carry forward, and this can have different aspects to it, is reaching out to people again, like old friends and acquaintances a little bit. I did some of this in 2025, but I want to continue doing this in 2026. Sometimes it's just for no particular reason, but old friends from high school I see on Facebook. Some other times it's things like maybe people or acquaintances that I've had friendships with, and I don't necessarily have a reason to talk to them much based on certain things, but I want to reach out. And I have done that with a few people and just be like, hey, what's new? What's going on? How are you doing? What's good in your life? And stuff like that. So reaching out to old friends and acquaintances.
I like that. Yeah, I should learn that too. I have some close friends here in real life, whether I'm bowl with them every week or whether I'm doing other things. Like I have a buddy of mine I golf with usually every week. Not right now because it gets dark at 5:30, but that'll change. Days are getting longer now. Okay, next question. If you could relive one day from the past year, what would it be? For me, it has to be the UK meetup I had in Stratford, UK. It was at a 100-year-old pub with about 20 new friends from our UK GDC community. A close second would be the day I spent time with my new pal, Hayoka, in the UK at an outdoor elbow concert. I mean, that was such a good day. We had early dinner, my wife and I in another pub, and then went to the outdoor concert from there. The opening acts were fantastic. And then when I left, it was so dark out. I'll never forget this. Hayoka could have just said, all right, peace out. I'm heading home. And it was late. It's a nighttime concert. Take care, MC Squared. He followed me and got me to the interstate or, the main highways there and then said, okay, you're good to go. Cause I was lost. I had nowhere. I mean, these are little towns I can't remember the town, but he nicknamed it Birdie. I'm sure Hayoka's screaming at the podcast right now. Tell me what it was. But anyway, that's one day I would love to relive if I could. Mike?
Excellent. Yeah. Also a trip for me. My wife and I went to Vegas this last year. It was in the dead of summer, not necessarily the best time to go, but I've been many different times. I didn't care. And there's plenty of air conditioning. Yeah. But just what we did, the itinerary was just perfect. A lot of good shows, good eating, met up with a friend. It was one of the better trips of just getting things done and having fun and stuff like that. So for 2025, I mean, I've been on other good trips too, but that was it. And I would definitely love to relive that trip again.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. That's a good time. Mm-hmm. Next question. Who had a significant impact in your life this past year? I mean, is it my turn to answer? I think Or is it your?
I believe it's my turn to start because I just ended the last one.
Yep,
so
go for it.
This was the other hard one for me, and I was kind of racking my brain, and I could just do a joke and say, "Well, you, ToddtheGatr," which is true, But
yes.
But you know what? I was thinking about this some more, and I'm just going to go also with the community.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't have any big reason for this, but I always appreciate different people's opinions and learning from different play styles and things like that. And I'm going to give major shout outs to Big Maximo, brother man.
Hell yeah.
Had an impact on my life. I don't know how to say that or really why, but
he's a good guy.
You're a good dude.
He's good people, man. That's for sure. I mean, we have a lot of really good, I've made a lot of good friends in our community, and that definitely has to go up there on the top. Our raid crew every Saturday night. I look forward to that every week. I tell my wife, I got my raid group tonight. Just letting you know, I got my raid group tonight. It's something I set aside time for, and I have a good time, man. Even though we're just running the Desert Perpetual again, it's just fun catching up with everybody and just bullshitting. And sin's always got to be a little, sin has to be sin. It's usually after hours too. So, but I have to give a close second to my grandson Elliot. Watching him, I watch him every week for a few hours. Watching him get bigger and bigger every week, I see him. It seems it's like he gets upgrades every week. I see him; he's learned something new. It's reminded me of how precious life is, man. Not to waste it. I mean, we'll see how I follow the second part, wasting time, because I'm very good at wasting time. But yeah, for me, it's just seeing in real time how my grandson is just changing all the time. It's the first time I've ever seen this, other than my real kids. But when you have kids, you're too busy with all the shit going on in life. You don't really sit there to enjoy it. I feel like grandkids are kind of a do-over, man. It's the time when you can, when you're done watching him, you're like, okay, there you go. He's back. Oh, he needs a diaper too, by the way. Yeah, exactly. It's so nice, man. Being a grandpa is awesome. I'm considered Pop. That's what they call me. So,
yep.
What about
That's
you?
like Mike in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Last one. What word or phrase will define your 2026? It's your turn. Or is it my turn? No, it's my turn. Sorry.
Your turn if we're doing
Sorry, I'm sorry.
But I don't care.
It's my turn. One word. Consistency. If I can just be consistent with anything I do, the chances of me reaching my goals and getting what I want to get accomplished, it'll happen. I tend to start things and not finish things. And I want to quit doing that. I want to be able to be concrete. And when I set out to do a task, I'm going to get it done. And consistency is got to be what 2026 is for me. So that's where I'm going for it.
Excellent. For me, if I'm going to be realistic, probably 2026 will also be uncertainty, but I'll pick pushing forward. That's what I have hope for. And that, a lot of things with work, relationships, and everything else in the world. So pushing forward.
Nice. Well, like I said, those are some questions that day one app gave me. And I said, you know what? I think this would be kind of cool to have on the show. And maybe people could ask the question of themselves. In fact, the doctor said, I would love to redo a day my nephew was born. I was sick at the time. Man, I hear you, man. I hear you. And Notorious said, overcomer is going to be his word or phrase for 2026. I like it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, since I talk about movies and TV shows that I've watched and also shared the reviews throughout the year, it's kind of a tradition every year where I list my top 10 shows and movies that I've watched over the year, kind of at the beginning of the year. And what I'm doing this year, because just time constraints, is I've condensed the top 10 list to include movies that I've gone and watched at the theaters and also TV streaming shows or series, because those are as good or better than a lot of our movies now. The first one I have is number 10 is the new Superman remake. It's the James Gunn remake. It grossed almost $700 million. To me, this kind of brought back all the Superman of old it has a unique comic-based kind of feel to it where, when you open a comic, you would jump right into a middle of a storyline. That's kind of how you felt when you jumped into this Superman movie. I like the twist. I like the storyline. I like the cast. It was all superb. I just watched it again, by the way, over the holiday break. I watched it at the theater and I watched it on HBO Max. And that's my number 10. Number 9. And you may disagree with me, Kingsley. It's Pluribus. It has to go on the list because Vince Gilligan, who you know made Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, he just creates truly unique masterpieces every time. And even though this show is a little out there, I really enjoyed season 1, and I'm so bummed that it's going to be a couple years probably before we see season 2. But I'm really obligated to put this on the list. It's also Apple TV's best hit right now.
Oh, it's a great show.
Yeah.
Something just misses for me a little bit compared to his other shows, but it is definitely worth everyone checking out.
There's going to be some omissions. I'm just going to tell you right now, Kingsley, that you're not going to agree with, that I did not list for this year. I know the one you're not going to be happy with, but number 8 is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This was Tom Cruise's 8th movie in this franchise, and it concluded the franchise, or did it? I don't know. But this was the part 2 of the 2023 film Dead Reckoning, and the storyline is just so good. The cast of characters is very good as well, especially Isai Morales as Gabriel. He's the terrorist he's like a digital cyber terrorist. And if you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin too much of it, but both parts, I was on the edge of my seat in the theaters. So it's definitely on my list as number 8. Number 7, The White Lotus. It's on HBO Max. This is the Thailand season. It was the latest one that just came out. I think this show really supercharged Walton Goggins' career. The ending was nothing what I expected. And to me, I think it's the best White Lotus out yet. I mean, do you agree with that, Mike?
I liked it a lot. Lotus? Yeah, my favorite's still probably the first one,
first, where she falls off the
but
boat.
It's really good. I always like White Lotus. I forgot that came out this year.
Mike White is just killing it, man. Whoever he's using to write these shows is just doing really well. Number 6, and you notice I haven't listed a lot of movies yet. Severance, Apple TV. This is the latest season.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really messed up. It was really messed up, but in a good way. I mean, it brought the office environment kind of out of the building. And to me, it was the most intriguing season to date, where he was trying to communicate with his outside self and all that. I thought that was really good. I really can't wait to see what Ben Stiller has in whatever next season. The ending was kind of weird. I didn't like how it ended. The season ended, but oh well, they have to kind of leave it open-ended anyway, right? I don't want to give too much away there, but so that's my number 6. Number 5 is not a movie. It's The Studio, also on Apple TV. Apple TV I'm just going to tell you right now, they are going to clean up at the Golden Globes this year, which is this Sunday, by the way, if you watch the award shows. Hands down, the hardest I've ever laughed. My wife actually watches it with me. 60% of the scripts are all improvised. And Seth Rogen and all of his friends, I think they're just having the best time while making these episodes. Truly funny shit. It's about a studio executive and his stumbles while trying to make and promote films. And I'll just tell you this, the last 2 episodes of this season, Bryan Cranston steals the show. My God, my wife had to go back and play it again. She was laughing so hard. So yeah, for the comedy value alone, number 5 is The Studio. Netflix finally gets a little love here on my number 4, and that's Adolescence. It was a stunning show about a preteen kid that shows how evil and damaged kids can get. And he was charged with murdering a girl at school. And what's really chilling about this series is that the movie is shot in one continuous take. That's, how hard that is to do.
Oh yeah, that is hard. Yeah.
I was really shook after I watched this series. I really was. So had a lot of impact on me. And so it's number 4. Number 3, again, is not a movie. It's The Pit on HBO Max. By the way, season 2 comes next week. This is the most gripping hospital drama, and I've watched them all. I think I watched the ER episodes when Clooney was big back in the day. It's a very competitive list. I mean, you got Grey's Anatomy, you got House. I mean, who can forget the OG MASH? My dad would watch it every night after the local 11 o'clock news. I would sneak under the bed as soon as I heard the music, and I would watch it with him every night. Even though I was very, very quiet, I think he kind of knew I was watching it, and he never called me out. But MASH is like one of the OGs. I mean, it's what started all this stuff.
Yeah.
But with that big list of heavy hitters, it does stand up. Noah Wyle and his surrounding cast are so good. And just goes to show you that if you have really good writing, it can make all the difference in today's shows. I think this is the most realistic hospital drama I've ever seen too. I mean, I watched it a second time through, again with my wife, and she's hooked now. So season 2, like I said, comes out next week. Number 2, if you were to tell me that a period-based movie based on the 1600s, from the 1600s, about Shakespeare's love for his family and especially his wife, when he was an up-and-coming figure in the theater community in Stratford, England, I would say you're delusional. I haven't seen Downton Abbey, for God's sakes. I don't know anything about this royalty stuff, but that movie moved me so much that I literally had to compose myself before I could get up and leave the movie when the lights came back up. Now, this film may not appeal to everyone, but if you're in a relationship, or better yet, you're married with kids, you will totally get this film. I was willed to include this on my top 10 for the year. So that was number 2. And number 1, again, is not a movie. It's Andor, Disney Plus. I was really disappointed once I found out that the series concluded this past year. Hands down, it is the best Star Wars breakout series in a long time for me. I mean, not only because of its depth of characters and its plot, and also because I think it was kind of directed toward the more OG adult side of the Star Wars community. I mean, it really gelled with me. I watched both seasons twice. It was so good. I mean, even if you're not a big Star Wars nerd like me, you should really watch this series. And that's why it was the best streaming show / movie for 2025 for me. Now, I do have some runners up.
Yeah, and I made a small little list.
Yeah, let's hear it. Give me a break from talking. I can drink.
They're mostly runners up. I just have, they're honorable mentions because I have not watched as much TV and movies this year as you. So I know a lot of the things you mentioned are good. And there's a lot of things I haven't seen. But for what I have watched, my personal list, honorable mentions go to White Lotus and Severance, like you said. Yep. Also, the movie Companion. I really liked that movie.
Which one?
I remember the Companion. She was the AI, the robot.
That was good. That
burning
was good.
The hand. And
that was good. I forgot about that movie.
But if I have to pick a top show or movie for the whole year, it's easy. Dexter Resurrection.
I knew you were going to go there.
It was so freaking good. Yeah. Yep.
That I could see you picking that. I could see why you would pick that. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it yet. It's on my added to the list.
Yeah.
But
what do you got?
Movies just weren't as strong as streaming shows this year. I can't put a thumb on it, but there were a few more movies that I think if they weren't competing with streaming shows, they would probably be on the list. One is One Battle After Another. It's actually out right now. I think it's on HBO Max. I think it's Leonardo DiCaprio, and it really good. It's very much reminds me of who's the iconic director that has he says he's going to write 7 movies. He says he's doing 7 movies and he's done.
Oh. Yeah, he did like Kill Bill and all those movies.
Yes.
His name.
Yeah. Anyway.
Jeez.
Yeah. Inglourious Bastards. I mean, just very good movies. I'm sorry.
Quentin Tarantino.
It very much felt like a Quentin Tarantino movie, even though it wasn't. But it had that feel to it. And it's very good. Very good. Very bloody, but very good. Another one really surprised me, and I don't watch horror movies. I really don't, is Weapons. I'm not typically the audience for these movies, but the buzz was so strong in social media after it was released. I had to get it booked and go watch it. I was really scared to go watch it too, because I'm a big baby when it comes to these jump scare. I told you Paranormal Activity. That movie messed me up mentally for a long time. I didn't want to feel that way again. So this movie was not like that. It was not supernatural stuff. It was very classic type of horror movie, and it was really good. It was just really good. If I was to pick the best action film of 2025, I got to give it to The Running Man. Glenn Powell. It was really good. It was a very good remake. I thought it was well done. The best comedy is The Roses. Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't know what it is, but those two really are really good together. The writing and everything was so good. Best spy movie for 2025 is The Black Bag. That's Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. That was so freaking suspenseful. Really, really good. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's out now on streaming. The steamiest movie of 2025, I saw at the theater, was Baby Girl, starring Nicole Kidman. This woman's at 58 years old. She has still got it. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the old movie she did with Tom Cruise. I don't know if you guys remember Eyes Wide Shut from 1999. That movie.
And I saw Baby Girl too with the wife. And I mean, it definitely steamiest of the movie that came out this year. But I mentioned earlier, like, I still was expecting more. Maybe I'm just crazy like that.
Well, that's it. That's my top 10 list for 2025. Next year, I'll have another top 10 list, hopefully with some really good movies. But we need to do one more thing, Kingsley, before we leave tonight.
All right.
And we'll do that when we return.
Hello, everybody. You are listening to Jealous Gaming on Guardian Downcast.
That's all the show we have tonight. But we have an important announcement we need to make since we're in that kind of reflective mood. And I've already kind of hinted to this to some of our friends in the Discord community. But, okay, this might get a little heavy, all right? During the holiday break, the past 2 weeks, Mike and I have been talking a bit. And I think it's safe to say that this break from our live shows kind of gave us both a pause, kind of to reset and kind of figure out where we want to go for the new year. And after some discussion, we've decided to take the show in a new direction. Now, but before you think we're going to be fading away like so many other Destiny podcasts out there, you'd be wrong. I am truly in love. I truly love enjoying what I do every week. And I think Mike can agree. We both love podcasting. We both like talking about Destiny. And that's not going to change. But as we've been playing the Destiny game for so many years now, I mean, there comes a time when Destiny fatigue sets in. And as many of you know, I don't play many other games out there. And maybe it's time to do so. And maybe it's time to include other things in our show besides just the Destiny game. So going into the next 6 months, we're expecting a major update, Shadow and Order. I think it's in March. Sometime, hopefully soon, we're going to get a state of the game. We will know where Destiny or where Bungie plans to go with the Destiny game. And of course, at least the final expansion that we know about, The Alchemist, is hopefully going to be coming out in June. Hopefully it's not delayed. But like I've said in so many shows in the past, Bungie will probably have to kick me off the servers when they finally shut down this game. So I'm not going anywhere. And I will continue to play Destiny 2. And as we've talked about it, Mike will as well. We have our raid team like every Saturday night. We have our usual grind in the game every week with our weekly stuff. We know that Bungie plans on releasing a state of the game soonish, but we don't have a concrete date as of yet. And Bungie also communicates with us every week in the monthly events. They'll continue to roll out, and we'll talk about those when they come out. So what does this mean, basically? What am I trying to say here? Well, it's funny because I've already been setting the gears in motion for almost a year now, as I kind of saw this time in Destiny coming for a while now. And while a lot of shows will just peace out, I don't want to do that. I mean, we can't argue the player numbers for the game have decreased quite a bit. And I'll be honest, I'm going to be very, very frank with you guys. Our downloads have also reflected this. Our actual downloads were actually very high, near record numbers in the months when Edge of Fate was out. And although I'm not a stat nerd and I don't really give much weight to downloads and views, I do think about the future of our show. And more importantly, I want to deliver quality content through our podcast. I mean, you guys vote with your time. You vote with your ears. And we see what we're producing is having less of an impact as the months go by. And the one thing I cannot stand is a show that becomes stagnant and does the same thing all the time. So here's what we're thinking about for the future of the show. First, I think it's time for a rebrand. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be rolling out an altered name and graphic for the podcast that still ties to our past, but also expresses kind of our new vision for the show. We'll announce something in the next few weeks, once we agree on a name. And I've already got people working on a new graphic for our podcast graphic, for our overlays that you're seeing right now if you're watching our show live. And like I said, it still will tie into our past, but we're going to announce something, I'd say probably before February. We're going to announce a new name, and we'll probably have a new graphic in the Discord. The next thing I want to change is the format of our show. In the past, we've stuck to the same kind of segments. I mean, you might have noticed this week that we already kind of changed the order of these segments a little bit that you're kind of used to hearing every week. I want to shake things up a bit, and this is kind of just the start. So I mentioned earlier that I've already been setting things up for this new concept show, and you've already been listening to some of these shows, guys. By that, I mean the roundtable episodes. This is where I want to go for the future of the show. We've gotten so much good feedback when we produce these episodes, and I want an altered version of these past shows to be more the norm for our future episodes. As our podcast really leans into community, like it always has, I do not want to change that part of the show either. So not only will we be changing our format to a roundtable style episode, but we also want to encourage the community members to participate in the conversation. So every so often, we'll have a guest episode whereby a community member will bring something in that they want to talk about on the roundtable. But we may also incorporate like a mini interview. And of course, the speed run will never go away. It's always part of our new guest. We also plan on bringing back past guests. I mean, right now it's wide open at this point. So if there's one thing I want to make sure I get across in this announcement is that we still talk about Bungie and the Destiny game. But let's face it, there's going to be times when there's nothing to talk about. And this is where the roundtable topics will come in. We'll still cover any highlights from this week in Destiny, but maybe a very abbreviated form. And if it's big news, what probably will happen is it will just become a topic for the show. The one thing I've been disappointed with from other Destiny podcasts out there is they stop talking about Destiny. That will not be us. So the point I'm trying to make here is that we aren't abandoning the game, but we want to incorporate other newsworthy topics in our future shows. We don't want to pigeonhole ourselves where all we can talk about is Destiny. And I think this will, I mean, our show
all sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, we want to create better content for our community, for our listeners, for those of you who join every week live. I mean, we understand there's a lot of other things you could be doing right now. Or if you're watching the playback while playing Destiny, or whether you're listening to this right now in our podcast app. We've been producing podcasts for over 6 years. We built a wonderful community of Guardians. So at this point, this is where we need you guys. If you would please give us some feedback in our GDC show feedback channel in our Discord. This is the most important time to give us some feedback, guys. Or send us a voicemail or an email. Just go to guardiandowncast.com and we'll take it all. This is the time where we want to hear you guys. What do you guys want us to talk about? What do you want to hear? What do you want to see in the show? But here's the thing. I'm going to implement these changes by February 5th. That's our very first show of February. So it's really important that, we're giving you a few weeks here. It's really important that you give us your input and what you guys want to see and hear in future shows. Kingsley, I've about dry mouth now. Is there anything you want to add to this?
Sure. No, it all sounds great. And obviously, as you being the main producer, you got to go with, and I totally agree with this idea too, but got to go with what makes you happy first priority. And then I'm a lower priority, but I basically agree with everything you say anyways. The community is probably the best priority. And we're already getting great comments in the chat. People are like, oh, we're going to talk about Space Marine, Helldivers, Warframe, these other things. I think the thing we're trying to say is Destiny is not being deprecated, but we're adding more space for things. We're not going to be afraid to be well, we're not playing Destiny as much this week, but let's talk about other games too. But like you said, other topics. And I personally also want to do something, again, not trying to take away. We're not saying don't have raid nights and stuff like that. Obviously have fun with Destiny as much as we want, but I may even, again, these are just ideas, but I may even have game nights on Wednesday nights, or Tuesday nights, a Jackbox game night, or we want people to stay in the community. So if you want to create an audio group up of Helldivers or whatever in the community, we want that to happen. And we want you to come on the show and talk about these things so that we can keep the conversations going with it being Destiny, bones and history and based, but talk about other stuff too.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should say that. My wife was, I call her my associate producer because when we take walks, she'll give me the greatest ideas for the show. What do you guys think about this? And I have to commit to this. Consistency, right? Consistency. What I'm thinking about doing is every month, I'm going to try a new game. And I'm thinking about streaming it like either Tuesday or Wednesday of the week. I don't want to mess with my Saturdays. That's for my raid team. But I'm thinking every month I want to try a new game. And we can even have a challenge where people in our community might play it from the start like I did. And then we can come together at the beginning of the next month and I can give you my review of the game. And here's the thing. There's lots of people out there that give reviews. And we had a question actually from someone who's been in our community, and he's in our chat all the time as well. And I won't put him on the spot, but he mentioned, he sent a question into me, he DM'd it to me privately. He goes, why do people want reviews? Why do people listen to reviews? I think the reason people listen to reviews is because if they understand the person they're listening to, if they understand their tendencies when gaming, we use gaming as an example here, or watching movies or whatever. If you share the same taste as that person, then it's very valuable information if you're thinking about watching a movie or playing a game or something, if you share values with that person who's doing the review. So that's why we have reviews. And when I look for reviews for anything out there, I'm always trying to gel with the person who's doing the review. And I'll compare like his or her review of this one movie versus the one I saw it. And if it meets up and I'm agreeing with what they're saying about the movie, then I'm more likely to listen to their review. But sorry, I'm going down a rabbit hole. But the thing I'm thinking about doing is once a month, genuinely trying a new game. And I could stream it live if you guys want, like on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. Remember, one of those nights I go to a movie with my wife every week if there's something to watch. And you guys can watch it. You guys can play alongside with me. And then at the beginning of next month, I can tell you what I thought about it. I could be like a review corner or something. But think of this as a roundtable episode, a gaming podcast with a Destiny leaning is the best way I can explain this. And we're going to have to redo some stuff. We're going to have to redo our beautiful motto that Heyoka came up with. Maybe we'll have another contest where people can come up with our new motto for our new show, something like that. But we're open to ideas. So Kingsley and I are going to continue to podcast our normal co-hosted podcast for the next 3 weeks. We're not going to do a roundtable this month because they're pretty much going to become the norm in February. So every week, Kingsley and I will be here, and this will be the time where we can read some feedback from our Guardian Downcast feedback channel. We can talk about other things that maybe possibly we can do in the show. But you guys listen with your time. We need to know what you guys want from our podcast. And I know you still want some Destiny. I know. I want to talk about Destiny too. And if there's a if Destiny's hot that week, it'll probably be my topic when we come to the roundtable. But yeah. Anything else you want to mention there, Kingsley?
No, that sounds great. I think that's the best way to describe everything. You did a good job on that. And I think it's just let us know like hopes, ideas. It's not like we can do every single one, but the more feedback we get, at least we could kind of know directions, what people are thinking, games you're interested in, topics you're interested in, just start throwing the ideas out there. So, and let us know what you would want also to even for you to become more active in the Discord. Yeah. If it's other games, like you're like, well, Destiny is fine, but like if we had other games, I'd be more active in the Discord. Or if you'd be more active in the Discord with something else Destiny related, let us know. So we want to keep this as an awesome community.
I tried Warframe, by the way, Doctor. I get motion sickness when I play that game. It's just so jerky. But I've heard that the color palette and things have changed lately on it. I might be a game I try 1 month. I have a lot of games I want to try. I have Space Marines too. I buy games and then I just say, well, I have it in case I want to play one.
Yeah.
It's one of those nights where I'm bored and I want to play something different. So I've got them in my PlayStation.
I think like you said too, this isn't just about us, even though we're kind of, like you said, bringing more guests, more co-hosts in, kind of like to kind of talk about the things that they're doing too in the games that they're playing and the topics. I'm really excited for kind of focusing more on, obviously I play other games too. And I always love talking about when new Destiny stuff comes out, but like, I'm going to try to even focus more on like just tech news and stuff like that. It doesn't mean like we're going to be taking large segments of the show that way, but
I think
those are the things that really like get me interested and excited to talk and stuff.
Well, I want you to talk about what you're passionate about, Kingsley. If there's if there's a new tech story there's a new tech article out and you want to get into it, I want to talk about it, man. I mean, I don't want you to feel like you have to have a Destiny topic every week or something. I want you to bring something to the show that you want to talk about. And Lord knows there's plenty of stories every week that come out. And I've even got a channel in our Discord called Possible Stories for Roundtable Episodes. You guys can throw ideas in there as well if you want to give us some ideas on stuff we want to talk about or have as a topic for the roundtable episodes. But yeah.
Oh my gosh, Jealous might have just trademarked something, an excellent idea. Look at the spelling too.
I like it.
Kingsley Tech corner with a K. I love it.
I like it. He's a smart kid, man. I'm sorry. I know you're not a kid, but I'm going to call you a kid because you're like the Wonder Boy, like the Wonder Kid. If you guys didn't listen to the last episode, you'll understand why. Book club for video games. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, Jelly Bean. I will not be doing D&D. I'm sorry. I cannot get into D&D, man.
The community has a lot of people that like it, though. So I can see people doing group ups.
What if we could have a topic about D&D? Maybe there's a new way people are playing it, or, you could go anywhere. That's the great thing, man.
People get a Destiny-based D&D campaign going and use our voice channels one night. That'd be so fun. That
would be, yeah.
Again, I'm probably not going to take place either because I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
My personality just is so bored with D&D. I don't like theater of the mind.
I'm a visual guy, guys. I'm sorry.
But I enjoy other people playing D&D and listening to it and watching. So
I've heard Fud's done some D&D nights in his podcast. It's pretty cool, but I just have to, the thing with D&D is time. D&D is never just a short 30-minute in and out. It's going to take several hours to play D&D. And I'd rather, if I'm going to stream for 2 or 3 hours a night playing a new game, I want to do like something different. I want to play a game.
Something that you want to play. Yeah.
I want to play. Yeah. And I'm sorry. I missed the boat on D&D. I'm with you, man. Theater of the mind, not very creative in that area. And yeah, Space Marines 2. I do have it. I do have Space Marines 2. I'll give you some options. I don't have Night Rain, but I would like to finish Baldur's Gate 3, or at least start getting into it. I mean, I know we played it one night, Kingsley. It was the menus drove me nuts, man. But Elden Ring, I definitely want to go back and play Elden Ring. I've got, what was that one Chinese boss game that came out that should have gotten awards last year or year before? I mean, I could look at I got a ton of games, guys. I'll just buy them just to support the studio and just hope that I'll play it one day. Oh, the new game on PlayStation that you played, Kingsley.
Which one?
Yeah, Wukong. Yes, Wukong is the game I got. There's another one. You just played it. It's an assassin game on PlayStation.
It was PlayStation only game? Oh, yeah. Not Ghost of Tsushima, but the new one, Ghost of Yotai? Or do you mean something else?
And I have Ghost of Tsushima too. Hazel recommended that game a long time ago when he was playing it. I've got that one in my library, Ghost of Tsushima.
I know people in the community like Division 2. I'll play that with you guys.
I might jump into Division 2. I've heard it's got you've been talking about it has I think I played Division 1. I don't know if I played Division 2.
Oh, it's so much. So see, this is a game that Bungie needs to learn from, and Division supposedly has a smaller studio than Bungie, but the game has slowly gotten better over time, and no one really notices until they like step away. They don't go like 1.5 steps forwards, 2 steps back like Destiny does. It's like it's in a pretty good state actually, and they are making a Division 3 behind the scenes and stuff like that.
Not to give my topic away, but I've already got a topic for February 5th that I want to talk about, and it's going to involve Destiny, but I don't want to share too much because I need to do my research. I want to make sure I do it right. I don't do stuff half-assed. If I write outlines and stuff for my show, I make sure I do the research. I do the time to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Diablo, maybe. I might consider that. What's that other one like Diablo? Like it's a top-down.
Path of Exile.
Path of Exile 2. That I've seen Astrocross playing that. It looks fun. Yeah. So, I mean, sky's the limit. But I'm thinking about doing that once a month, picking one game. One, it'll force me to play my damn library that I've already spent the money on. And two, it'll expand my horizons where I might actually want to do something. And then some of you that maybe were thinking about playing it could join the challenge and play it for the month. And, you can give us feedback in our channel or even come on the show and share your experience with it. But it would literally, it would be like a corner. It wouldn't be a topic. It would be like just a check-in. Like, okay, I played this game this month. These are the pluses. These are the minuses. And I recommend it or I don't recommend it based on this old Destiny player. There again, going back to people you relate with. If you're an old Destiny player like I am and you like to play one game, it might be refreshing to get a review from someone who doesn't play other games. So anyway, sky's the limit on that. So we need your input. GDC feedback channel, you got guardiandowncast.com. You can send us a voicemail. You can email us. Just hit the contact us on our site. It'll tell you all the places that you can reach us. And let us know what you think, because this is the time when we really want to know what our audience thinks and what they want to see in the future. So now's the time to do it. We got 3 more shows, Kingsley, before February rolls around. So we'll talk about it over the next 3 weeks. And of course, we'll talk about Destiny like we normally do our normal podcast until February. And then that's when we'll make the transformation. We'll have the new branding. We'll have the new overlays in our live streams and stuff. And then that's when we'll have our roundtables set up. Probably be the least amount will be me and Kingsley, but we may have up to 4 people on every show. I have enough room to bring 4 people on without it being too busy. You've had those podcasts where there's 8 people on the podcast and it takes 10 hours to get through the podcast because everyone wants to talk about their opinion. I tried doing an 8 podcast with 8 people in it. It was one of our UK editions, and I wanted to hear from everybody. And so every topic would take a long time. So I want to keep it to 4 people on the show at a time, maximum. And like I said, there may be weeks where no one's available and it's just me and Kingsley, but we'll still do a roundtable style show. I have 2 podcasts that I can think of that aren't viable anymore. And I love tuning in every week just to see what they were going to talk about as a topic. And that's what I want to bring to the Guardian Downcast podcast. So I think I've already got a name too. I don't want to share it though. I want to share it with Kingsley first.
I know. I'm so excited to hear this.
I want to see what you think. And it's not super original, but I think, I think it'll tie in with our past. So anyway.
Howdy folks, this is MC Squared and you're listening to Guardian Downcast.
Speaking of our patrons, want to give a shout out to our Patreon community. Thank you. And make sure you enjoy all those extra content, extra episodes, audio and visual video episodes. And just thank you for giving back. I think it's been 3 years plus now that we've had bonus Patreon episodes and our Patreon community. And thank you very much for giving back to our community and keeping it going. We really appreciate it. If you are interested in joining and supporting a listener-supported podcast like this one with no outside advertising, guardiandowncast.com. It's that easy. Just hit the Patreon button and it'll give you all the information you need if you're thinking about it. And you can join free, by the way. You can try it out for free. Before we go, some final thoughts to wrap up this week. So what do you think? We have outlasted so many Destiny-only podcasts out there that I think it was just time. Again, I want to reiterate, we are not deserting the Destiny game, but merely giving ourselves the peace of mind to talk about other topics in gaming, especially if there's nothing going on in the Destiny-verse. We may talk about social media or whatever crosses the table. Roundtable episodes do take extra work on my part to produce, but since I've been listening to podcasts, my favorites have always been in the roundtable format. It's just so much fun to tune in and see what they're going to talk about. It's just very surprising, and usually I get right into the topics as well. And I want to give others in our community the chance to speak out and let their voice be heard using our platform. So if you think you're ready to jump on our show, you have a decent mic so we can hear you, and are you in a quiet place, free from distractions, and you got something you want to talk about, we want to hear from you. You can DM me in the Discord. Just send me a DM if you're in our Discord community. You can send us a voicemail or email. It's guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or just go to guardiandowncast.com and it'll show you all the ways. Kingsley and I will be back next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, if you want to hear and catch the podcast before it's released on our normal Monday. So stop by and get into the conversations with us this week, as we're really enjoying interacting with our audience, whether it's from our Discord, YouTube, or our Twitch chat. We'll be sure to have another topic of the week. And of course, Mike and I will catch up on our week and possibly mention some more ideas for the new show format we got from our community. Bungie will also have another blog post next week. We'll be sure to comment on that. So I hope you'll join us then. If you have any questions for our show this week, be sure to drop them in our Discord podcast questions channel in our Discord. Again, you can send us a voicemail or just go to guardiandowncast.com. Be sure to check out my new solo podcast as well, 50 Years Experience Required. That's 50. It's all about observations and stories from my life growing up, and I just released a new episode a couple weeks ago titled 7 Things I Wish I Knew When I Was Younger. Covers some of the topics that might benefit you today, depending on your age. I guess we're never too old, right? Easy, just go to 50yearspod.com. That's 50yearspod.com. All the episodes will be there. I believe I have 10 out now. They come out about every couple of weeks. I do have another episode coming next week. I think you'll like that one too. I'm going to be at PodFest on the 15th, 16th, and 17th here in Orlando at the Renaissance Center. If you're going to PodFest, DM me and let me know. I'd like to meet with you and talk with you. Well, that's a wrap. Another episode in our collection for our new listeners out there. We have 337 other episodes with interviews from gamers, all of our community. And of course, don't forget our prior roundtable episodes with very interesting topics. Most of them are evergreen too. So, and if you're just finding out about us, you like what you hear, the only way we grow is by you telling someone else about our show. Everything's at guardiandowncast.com. That's all you can say. Just, hey, guardiandowncast.com. That's simple. Special thanks to my co-host, Kingsleymac. Thank you, sir. As every week, he shows up ready to go. And remember, as you're playing Renegades, take breaks, get outside and touch grass, Necromancer. Remember, we're Guardian Downcast, your stories, your community, and your destiny. And please be good to your fellow Guardians in the Destinyverse.
The weight of the world was on your shoulders, and still you triumphed. Marvelous.
Thank you all so much for listening. And whether in life or in your game, get your reps in. Later, Guardian. That's it, guys. Thank you for everyone who hung out tonight. We had a really good turnout in all 3 chats. Thank you for hanging out with us and listening to these old guys talk about Destiny and reflecting on 2025 and into 2026. And yeah, we love you guys. I mean, we love that you guys show up. Everyone who watches the replays, thank you. If you're on Twitch, hit the follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. If there's a middle finger, I tell you to hit that one too. And make sure you subscribe so you can get notifications. And I think that's all I got to say. Anything else? Kingsley, am I missing anything?
And if you're in the Discord, just give us a thumbs up there too.
Yeah, I mean, we have an event tab. I make an event tab every week so you can RSVP. It doesn't mean you're obligated to show up, but it'll just give you a message in your DM saying, hey, show's about to start. Or it will give you a reminder that our show's going live in our Discord. So thank you, Amazing Taco King. Thanks for hanging out, brother. That's it, guys. Thank you very much. And as in life and in your game, get your reps in.
and have a good one.
Kingsley, what's going on in player support report this week, man?
Yeah, some stuff is broken, but not that much. It could be worse.
Okay, I'll take it. Player support report. Scarlett, what's going on at the player support report for this week?
Oh, just broken.
Thank you, sir.